Greetings, human! Hello? Why can I not hear? I have sound. Well, I'm gonna go pee and refill my cup. I'll be right back. If I start hearing you, I'll know that everything went according to plan.
Welcome, humanoids, to
I hate you, Skype.
Skype hates you too.
It was on the wrong fucking thing. There's not even a mic plugged into that port. Hurry up with your urination.
I told you to wait.
You and your peeing. I can hear him. Yes. His mic is that good. Ew. This is not the first time I've heard him pee.
You know what the worst part of that is? I have the door closed. That's how sensitive that fucking mic is. I have the gain turned all the way down. It can still pick me up from about 30, 40 feet away. I'll be right back.
I think I got off. Where's your answer? Cupcake! Cupcake! No, she's eating me! Ah, zombie! Sorry, spittled on you a bit. Ooh, the dog or the boobs? Naked girl. Where's that on the side? I'm not positive. It's like some kind of Nazi thing. Could just be Germish. From Germany. What the fuck am I saying? Did you say Germish? Yeah. Like, that's a thing. That's not a thing. Oh, it could be a thing. It's like how the radish got its name. Somebody said, hey, that's totally rad. It's kind of rad-ish. Go in the corner. What? Go in the corner. Why? For that. But, wait, go back to the button. I didn't get to read it. You go too fast. Not my fault, you're slow. My soul was removed to make room for all of this sarcasm. That is awesome. So how are you doing? I'm pretty good. How are you? I'm pretty good. It's fucking hot, though. Oh, yeah. Actually, we don't need that light on. Can you turn that off? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I cleared out all the monsters. We should be fine. I don't have an under the bed anymore, so we're cool in that area. It is just a switch, right? Yep. And now we're in sort of darkness, but not really, because the sun's still up and it kind of comes through the blinds. Also the monitor for light. I like sitting in the dark with you. Well, yeah, that's when the naughty things happen. Naughty. Or the, naughty conversations. No, it's either naughty or someone gets hurt. One or the other. Or both, actually. Well, for me, the two are mutually exclusive. That means they go together, right? No, that means they don't go together. Oh, exclusive.
Welcome, humanoids, to episode 31 of the Super Happy Fun Gamatron Tea Party with Kiki, Bones, and Breathe.
You guys are a riot. I have wireless headphones on, so I could hear you the entire time while I'm trying to find the cooler.
We are aware. Hi, Cupcake. Hi, Cupcake.
I told you guys to wait a couple minutes, but you're like, no, I'm gonna call Cupcake right now and see what's going on. I need stuff to happen before the theme song. Oh, okay. Fuck me. No, we're too far away. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to scrub the images out of my eyes from a couple nights ago. What? I never should have set up that secret camera in their bedroom. Kiki caught space plague from her husband during their sexy cupcake fun times.
Actually, my throat feels better, so I don't think I actually caught it from him.
Well, that's good. At least he didn't have it on his dick.
Well, no.
See, it's a joke, because I'm insinuating that you deep throat your husband.
Occasionally.
You're not supposed to agree to that!
What? It's not my fault I did. You said, and I agreed.
So, you weren't joking about being a dirty, dirty whore.
No.
Deep throating isn't dirty or whorish. It's love.
Although my tonsils are giant naturally, so it's not all that deep.
Oh, you had your tonsils removed.
No, I had my adenoids removed, because I still have my tonsils. They were afraid to remove them.
Ah.
And because once they removed my nostrils, yes, I'm missing my nostrils. Once they removed my adenoids, the thing that was trying to kill me cleared up, and I never got it again. So I still have my tonsils, which means I still get tonsil-related sickness, not so bad to have them removed.
Ah.
So it's annoying, but not life-threatening.
Because
Awesome.
knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
I want these hats.
What hats are those?
All the
Don't answer
hats.
that.
I will link the hats.
I need Groove Shark tonight, I think. Groove Shark away.
Groove Shark, Groove Shark. I still prefer Last of Them.
Well, see,
Shark.
It's a music service.
Ah.
what I'm doing is listening to stuff on like Last FM, Pandora, Slacker, and then finding the music in Groove Shark and adding it to my list.
Mm.
And then put it on random. So I have right now I have a half dozen. Jesus, titty fuck. Those aren't hats. Those are fucking fruit displays with hair.
They're adorable.
Yeah, if you like horrifying displays of arts and Asian ladies' hair.
So yes.
Yes.
I mean, to be dead honest, I have argued that all art has merit. You just have to figure out what it is. But I'm having a hard time figuring out what the merit of this fucking art is. So what I want is squirrels in my hair. Squirrels!
Squirrels in the pants. I love Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a kid's show, right?
It's a kid show that's good for the adults too.
So is Adventure Time. I still don't understand how that works, but hey, whatever, right?
Adventure Time.
I don't like Adventure Time.
Dude, Adventure Time has some of the best female characters because they're not, just there.
Yeah, as we were talking about last week, you have basically three distinct character types at this point for women in just about all media, but specifically cartoons. There's three distinct types of characters, and then variations of within those. A, the doormat. Everybody loves the 50s, housewife stereotypical girlfriend doormat.
Hi.
B, wait, what?
She was saying that she was a doormat. Don't interrupt her in the middle of a flow. Oh. Continue, Cupcake.
What Kiki's trying to say is it's very hard to get me talking like this, so shut the fuck up and let me finish my thought process.
I'm sorry, I just splattered tea everywhere. Are you alright?
No, you burned me. I have 3-degree burns.
3-degree burns? What the fuck are those? You mean 3-degree?
Continue about what you were saying.
Okay, so I've come to the conclusion that there's three distinct female characters in animation. There's the doormat, there's the Amazon warrior, and then there's the third one, which can best be described as new age, new wave, feminist female archetype.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is just a variation of that.
Yes, a bit of mixing and matching. I swear most Western television moms are the exact same character. Neurotic, over-excessive, and shouting, and somehow we're supposed to find her likable.
Because you're supposed to find tones of it in your own parents. Be like, oh yeah, it's just like my mom, except it's not, because my mom is anyway. But no, I always enjoy the super demure, basically just there for eye candy and doing the dishes and possibly sex once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the I don't need a man anyway, Amazon warrior versus the I'm a girl, but I'm going to act like a guy because I'm all, freed from my gender roles.
Heaven forbid we just play female characters as people.
Or, you could just have female characters that have depth,
Yeah.
It's sad when children's cartoons get that.
A lot more children's cartoons are having that, though. I mean, they're a bit simplistic, but they are intended for children. But at the same time, they have a greater spectrum of girls and women in them. And I think the princesses of Adventure Time greatly reflect that.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Let's look at what Lauren Foss did with Friendship is Magic seasons 1 and 2. So you have six girls. I mean, okay, they're ponies, but forget that for a minute and just think about them like female archetypes. You have the jock, you have like the country girl, you have the bookworm, you have the fashionista, you have the quiet one that's good with animals, and who am I forgetting? Oh, and the party animal, party girl.
Party!
Now, if you were to look at it just like that, you would say, well, those are just stupid archetypes, developed to basically sell toys to little girls. However...
when you actually watch the show, there's a lot more to them.
They're characterized. Yeah. You find out that all right, Twilight Sparkle, the bookworm.
Mm-hmm.
She's very smart. She's never failed in her life. She's like that like the stereotypical Chinese or Asian honor roll student, just always gotten A's. And so there's this interesting thing when she finally fails to do something, and I don't know what episode it is, when the first time she fails, her whole mind just explodes and she just implodes into a ball of neurotic, just neuroses. She's just a ball of neuroses when she fails for the first time. And they all have something like that. Like Pinky lives off of the whole idea, being the party animal, lives off the whole idea that she's popular and everybody likes her. Then she meets someone who doesn't like her. And there's this whole thing about what it is, why you're not going to have, not everyone is going to like you. Why you're not always going to succeed. Why you're always not going to be best at something. Why you need to be willing to ask for help. They basically take the archetypes that make them the strong stereotypes, and then turn them on their heads and say, this is how this type of person, if they were to live fully in this idea, would fail. And I think that's amazing for a children's cartoon basically aimed at 10-year-olds.
Yeah. It all sounds like deja vu to me.
What do you mean?
Aren't those the same kind of cartoons that we all grew up with? Okay, but when we're looking at that a bit rose-tinted, when you actually go back and watch those, it's a lot less. It's the same stories, but modern cartoons have more depth, really. Not that all old cartoons are simplistic. Like, looking back at old ponies, I could not name most of them, and most of them didn't have actual characterization. That doesn't mean I didn't love them growing up, nor do they not have merit now. It's just...
They're not characters, they're vehicles. They're vehicles for line placement.
Yeah.
I mean, look at I look at PSAs. Cartoons were so abhorrently violent and lacking in what they would call substance that they made them have PSAs at the end, like G.I. Joe and Transformers and shit. It's like, don't talk to strangers, don't play with fire.
Episode involves talking to strangers, playing with fire.
But that's the whole thing. They didn't live what they were saying.
Mm.
And that was the big difference with modern cartoons, where you have people being coy about how they're going to insert lessons without making it, you shouldn't do this, but I did it anyway. It's like, do as I say, not as I do type shit. Like legitimate, it's like G.I. Joe. Legitimate military life is god-awful boring. If most people knew what it is to be in the military, most people aren't G.I. Joe. Most people are behind friendly lines doing stuff like fixing vehicles or, running paperwork. What now?
It's always paperwork.
Yeah.
Paperwork.
But I mean, I mean, I legitimately look at how stupid cartoons were when I was a kid, like in the late 80s and early 90s, like when I first started, getting into cartoons, 5, 6, that kind of thing. And I'm like, God, these are just stupid. Like, they lack any substance. They're just a merchandising vehicle.
And then there might be a lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to after the mid-'80s. Yeah. There's that whole deal about, cartoons can't just be mindless fun. They have to instill some, real-life lesson, which is... I'm not saying that everything has to have a deep message. What I am saying is it is okay to, once in a while, just have mindless fun for no reason. Just to say, hey, you know what? This is a fun episode. There is no lesson. Mm-hmm. We're telling a story, okay? And the thing is, the legitimate answer to that is you can tell a story with no moral and there can be a moral. Like, adults can look at that story and go, okay, what I'm getting from this is it's important to, not judge people by the way we perceive them on, first glance. The old, judge a book by its contents, not by its cover.
Which I'm terrible and judge a book by its cover.
What now?
Not with people, but I was saying when you actually look at books, you do tend to judge them by their covers, but the point is not to do it with people, but seriously.
Well, I mean, everybody makes that.
To step it up on their book covers.
Yeah, everybody makes that, that first, gut impression, This person's in trouble, this person is in trouble, I'm going to like this person, I'm not going to like this person. But, I mean, the reality is, you're just not supposed to be like, you look at somebody and say, well, that's trouble, or, I'm not going to like that person, and just take it at that. You're supposed to give them a chance to prove that they're... Like, I had a guy I worked with about a year and a half ago that, legitimately, he looked like a bro. He looked like a bro. He had tan, he was, super tan, he had super perfect white teeth, he was, spiked hair. It kind of looked like a Guido. I was like, oh, yeah, no, fuck you. No, you're not going to get my respect. And I started talking to him. You know what? He was a well-adjusted human being. He was one of the nicest people I ever met. And I was really sad when my bosses basically fucked him over. Because, my first thought is this guy's just going to be one of those dumb, Jaeger bomb stereotypes. And... You know what? And I really regretted thinking that because I let my perceptions, rule my thoughts, and I really shouldn't have because he was one of the best people I ever worked with, and I'm still sad to this day that he doesn't work with us.
Aww.
He ended up quitting for a better job, which was totally fine, but that was because he basically couldn't stand working for our company at the time.
Oh, good for him then.
Yeah.
It's no fun when you can't have fun at work.
Work isn't supposed to be fun. Yeah, I was going to say.
Work can be fun.
Work can be fun, yes. I really loved being a librarian, even though I was only technically a librarian. I got to touch books all day.
I'm perfectly fine with being a cashier.
Well, that's because you really like the people you work with.
Well, I can talk to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a new concept for me that, let's say I work with about 30 people, right? At any given time, there's 30 people I work with. There's only one girl. I cannot stand her.
It's there's always the one. You can't like everyone, sweetie.
Because she just can't stay at a register. She has to keep on walking around and not doing her damn job. And then her shirt is always see-through, which sounds like a good thing. It sounds like, oh, cool, we're going to go there and, we're going to see some titties or something, right? It doesn't have anything to show. So it just looks trashy.
Well, that and your dress code says that you're not supposed to.
Yeah, and the dress code says that you're supposed to wear an undershirt. And she pisses me off, but I like everybody else.
Our dress code says it should be business casual or business professional. I come into work often wearing Hawaiian shirts, and they're like, that's not business professional. I'm like, it's a button-up Oxford with a tie. Shut the hell up.
Hey, that's business casual. Just happens to be that you don't live in Hawaii. Yeah.
Yes. My underlings got so pissed the first time I did it. They were like, how the hell do you get away with that? I'm like, it's business professional. It's a nice shirt. It was $150. It's a Tommy Bahama original.
Just because I'm wearing $50 for a Hawaiian shirt.
Do you not realize how expensive Hawaiian shirts are?
Dude, like $50 is the average for a low-end actual professional shirt in like Hawaiian designs. You might call it, or tropical or fun designs.
Okay, so yeah.
I don't wear crap. What now?
She just said yeah.
Oh.
I'm happy to
yeah. I just wear.
I wish I had that kind of money to spend.
I just wear a professional, like blank colored tie, black, white, red, blue, with the shirt. I'm like, I'm professional. They're like, but how do you justify that without a suit coat? I'm like, oh, I got my suit coat. It's sitting in my office on my chair. I'm not going to wear it around the office. I don't need it.
Yeah, like you were saying last time, unless it's a meeting, you don't need to be wearing.
Dude, I go to our board meetings wearing this shit, and they're like, do you really consider yourself a professional, director? And I'm like, no, I don't, but you still put me in the position. I'm so terrible at my job. What am I still doing here, right?
Yeah.
They haven't fired me yet. I'm feeling pretty secure.
Will you let the little shithead in? Okay. I don't know if you can hear him, but I can hear Trooper.
I can't hear anything, so that's cool.
He's not there. Oh. So she goes looking for Trooper. Come on. Come on. Hi.
Now I can hear Trooper. He's going at it.
Come here, bud. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Kiki, she can't go one night without giving her pussy some attention.
Nope, never.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Here, is this what you want? To cover me in cat hair?
Yes. Yes, it is exactly what Trooper wanted.
I got a tissue.
But yeah, no, I find what I find really interesting is when they take a character archetype and then they just basically turn it right on its head. When you get stuff like one of the first shows we ever did, I talked about Belle Dandy and how I thought she was a great character because for all intents and purposes, the outside perception is she's just a doormat. You start looking at how she acts and the way she is, and you realize that it's a facade. Like her whole mannerisms, the way she moves and acts, it's a facade put forward to basically, appease the average stereotypical man, which is hilarious considering who she's dating in the story. Mm-hmm. Kiichi Morisato is, at the very least, nothing like a stereotypical. Well, I mean, he is, he's like every guy. He's got a sex drive, but other than that, I mean, he's not what you would call a bro or.
No.
He's kind of nerdy. He's short. He has no money.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a decent guy at that.
Yeah.
An actual decent guy, not one of the supposed decent guys. Have you not seen Oh My Goddess?
No.
I think I may have shown you the movie like way back.
Yeah.
And I have a horrible memory.
Yeah. The whole idea behind Kiichi Morisato is that he isn't a male stand-in for a harem anime.
Yeah.
Like, so many of them are basically just a formless blob that basically exists to fulfill male fantasy.
Tenchi Muyo? No, Tenchi is an actual character.
Dude, Tenchi has character. Like, if you actually watch through that, he's kind of ridiculous. He's almost like I've had conversation with Kiki where I said his entire character is defined by the one moment when he's going to be obliterated by the big bad, and all the girls who went to fight for him are locked, are captured, and he says, and the big bad says, "Still you stand, still you fight, knowing that I will destroy you to the very last atom. I will obliterate you." And he says something along the lines of, "Even if it means my own destruction, I would never forsake any of these women."
Mm-hmm. Tenchi is another supposedly average, decent guy who is deep down, the sort of hero you actually want. He actually cares.
I don't think I ever got that far.
You've only seen like random bits and like maybe the first movie.
Yeah, I never sat down and actually watched the whole thing.
Oh, back when we were watching that stuff, it was really hard to get anything in like consistency.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Other than
Other than what?
Other than like Sailor Moon, which we watched from beginning to end.
Well, I wouldn't say we watched it back in the day.
But I mean, look at Sailor Moon. I mean, Usagi is not a hero. She's not a hero at all, but she ends up being one.
Yeah, Usagi is about a journey of a average girl who really just wants to be an average girl, although she's a little below average, but whatever. The stereotypical late hungry girl from animes who becomes the hero because she figures out that she has things she wants to protect.
Yeah.
And because they'll always want to protect her, she in turn, that's not the whole reason she wants to protect them, but she cares for them.
And also because she's not really given much of a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's begrudging. It's transcending a mask in the end. It's what happens in Inuyasha even. Inuyasha is, when it starts, he doesn't want to help anybody. He's out all for himself, and over time he just, like Stockholm syndrome sets in or whatever. Like reverse, I guess. And he's like, he ends up falling in love with the girl, ends up befriending all the people that they're begrudgingly traveling with. And it becomes this real, like, they spend enough time together, it becomes a real thing. He ends up caring about everyone. And he actually just starts getting, like, distinctly, like, pissed off when people screw with the girl. Even though he can't decide if he's in love with Kagome or, I can never think of her name. Kikyo.
Is that her name?
Kikyo, yes.
Kikyo and Kagome. Yeah.
Yeah. I never understood, like, she's supposed to be, like, the physical reincarnation of Kikyo, but she looks nothing like her, which I always thought was, like, okay.
I don't think she's supposed to be the physical, they just share
She's supposed
soul.
to be the spiritual reincarnation.
Yeah.
Trooper, shut up. So, Anohana is getting a movie.
I saw.
It's gonna make me cry.
Just because this show made me bawl my eyes out.
Wasn't the girl's death something really stupid, like a misunderstanding?
Yes.
Like she ended up like committing suicide over something that she misunderstood what the guy she was in love with was saying?
No. She died as a young girl.
And it was an accident.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's one I'm thinking of where, like, maybe it was a different one. I remember there was one where, like, the guy she's in love with says something about not loving her or some nonsense like that. She ends up offing herself or dying in an accident, and then there's, like, this, like, everybody comes back together, like, 10 years later.
That's not quite Anohana. I'm not sure what that is, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either. I remember seeing one where it sounded like that with, like, a ghost girl, and, like, a lot of that stuff I haven't even bothered to look at because, like, nobody's dubbing anything, and I just can't be asked to spend the kind of money they want for undubbed, subbed-only anime. Like, it's in a collector's box. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Boy, they know. Well, I saw the whole thing, and it was very much of a...
It's really more of a story about friendship.
Yeah, and it very much hurt my feelings.
Because
I did not
she's
like
a dead girl.
Well, because when you first start watching it, you get very much the impression that they're all just ignoring her.
Well, yeah, he can hear her, but everybody else can feel her. She interacts with them, but they just assume it's something else.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
But you get this huge impression that they're all ignoring her. And just pretending that she's not there.
Well, they kind of lost contact with each other because none of them wanted to,
remember the accident.
The fact that this great friend, who we were kind of shitty to on that day, died. And, looking at these other faces just reminds us of that. So we stopped talking to one another.
Plus the one boy that can actually hear her.
Mm-hmm.
And
he feels the most guilt over it, too.
Yeah, because he blames himself.
Yeah.
For it. But... And then in the end, when you find out that she's actually dead and everything, it's like, okay, waterfall.
Well, yeah, she was a ghost the entire time.
I know, but I didn't figure that out right away.
Okay, she was a ghost the entire time.
Thank you. Bitch.
Would
you like some more tea?
Yes, good tea, bitch.
This is the one I was thinking of, but I must have misunderstood how she died.
It's okay, you gotta see it. Well, that's what happens when you don't have light.
Yeah, I was looking at getting this, but then NIS America licensed it, so it was like, yeah, never mind.
So
Are we supposed to be looking at something?
No, I think he's talking about Anohana.
I am talking about Anohana.
Oh, okay.
NIS of America is another one of those.
It's like Aniplex of America. It's like they do like niche collector boxes of anime when they license it. So it's like $150-$200 for it. And it's like only subbed, and they're like, well, you get an art book with it. It's like, yeah, I don't want an art book. Oh, it's only on Blu-ray. It's like, I don't want it on Blu-ray.
I think you can still watch Anohana on Crunchyroll.
Probably. What I'm saying as a collector, it's hard for me to want to buy stuff like that, because it's like,
yeah,
I could spend the money, but it feels silly. Like, if they had a much cheaper option, I would probably do it. Like, they're like, hey, we'll give you just the Blu-rays for $60. I'd be like, okay. Anyway, I like the bitch. Anime's getting more expensive, and I don't want to pay for it.
End of part 1. Return for more in part 2. Proceeding on now with part 2.
Oh, they have different hairs. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
What now?
They released more images of the new figurines for Sailor Moon. And they have different hairs that you can put on too.
Oh God.
That's just come out with the fucking anime already.
Well, these aren't for the new anime. They're the 20th anniversary edition, so they're the designs from the old anime.
Yeah, I'm sick of all the old shit.
which is also why Bandai is releasing a bunch of 20th anniversary. We're just reusing old crap, but you'll pay for it stuff. And it's like, fuck yeah, I'll pay for it if I have the money.
Yeah, if I had the money.
You can get all of her transformation brooches in pendant form with real jewel from Bandai. Yeah.
And I had my eyes checked.
Your eyes are more important. Did your eyes cost $125?
No.
Then you couldn't have afforded one. Oh, as I believe that's the cheapest one.
Seriously?
For the pendants. Like I said, it's real, like gold, silver, and some sort of...
They're like actual, like, pendants.
Yeah.
I want to see these things.
Does it have a link to the Bandai website?
Nothing's ever that easy, sweetheart.
It hates me, doesn't it?
Why are you whining again? I thought you laid down.
Because he realized we weren't paying attention to him. Meow! Meow! Super! Oh, is Reeve too close to me? Is that it? You yellow shit? Look! Touching me.
That sounds bad.
Shut your face.
Indeed. Yeah, I would reiterate that I would pay a lot of money for Sailor Moon.
Anything Sailor Moon. I want them all.
Mostly, I'd like to see a re-release of the TV show. Mm-hmm. Possibly a new dub would be nice as well.
Oh, if they could give us
a good dub?
A good one, and not, like, change the fucking names. Serena, Darian, Reenie. Oh my god.
Yeah, Anohana is still on Crunchyroll. Sweet. Where are those pendants?
I swear, like, the only names that they didn't change were Amy. They just spelled it differently.
It's all main Japanese, but yeah. It's essentially the same fucking name.
Yeah. And they didn't change Luna or Artemis.
Well, they didn't change Diana either.
They didn't change Diana either.
To be fair, they're fucking cats, so...
Yeah. But what is so hard? Seriously, what is so hard about
that? Was back in the day when they thought we wouldn't get references. So, like, they changed the name of foods, too. Like, everything became a fucking donut when it clearly wasn't a donut.
I know, right?
And I quote, original Pokemon dub, onigiri were crackers.
Yeah,
let's have a cracker. I'm like, those are rice balls. Like, you could actually see, like, the granulated rice in between the nori strip. It's like, that's a rice ball. Just call it a rice ball. It's okay.
Because America cannot understand other cultures.
Well, it's like when they were doing the English dub of Cardcaptor Sakura, they wanted to call her like Amy Avalon or some shit, and they finally settled on, they left her first name in place but changed her second name, or changed her last name from Kinomoto to Avalon.
Avalon?
Yes, because she's a magician, like Avalon. Yeah.
I am so glad I never actually watched the dub of that.
Well, remember, they changed Harry Potter for us.
What?
What seriously would have been so hard? Sorcerer's Stone to Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Are they saying that American kids are so stupid that they have no clue that a Philosopher's Stone is the same thing as a Sorcerer's Stone?
Well,
most kids don't even know that exists.
Most producers just assume that American kids are dumb.
Which is retarded.
Like, legitimately, they could have called it anything, and no one would have cared or known otherwise.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't have to change it, but they went through the whole rigmarole to do it. So
yeah.
I mean, they essentially made like two entire movies for the first movie.
Yeah. Well, they only had to redo scenes where they said it.
Yeah.
And in the book, all they had to do was find philosopher, change to sorcerer.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I never even realized that they did that. I just assumed that was the standard.
Mm-hmm. It's philosopher.
Nope. They went through all the trouble.
Lord.
Hey, that meant somebody got a job, though, out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although I love listening to the audiobooks.
We listened to the Stephen Fry version.
Nice.
And he says Philosopher's Stone.
Well, obviously he's British.
And the way that he says Philosopher's Stone, that man, like, actually looking at his face, it's like, wow, you are old enough to be my grandfather. And then I listen to his voice, and it's like, if you showed up at my front door, I would leave with you.
He would never do anything, would you?
I just need him to talk. That's all I want him to do, is talk.
Well, I think he's done other audiobooks. So.
Just find all the audiobooks by him.
Yeah.
I imagine from what I've seen of him doing, like, speaking engagements, like, he's a good speaker, so I imagine him reading a story would be very good as well.
Oh, yeah, I'd say his voice and the way he talks is one of the great things about him, and he as a person is so bloody hilarious.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. And he reads all 7 books.
And he
even slightly changes his voice.
The character voices are great.
How he does Hagrid?
Yes, he does a great Hagrid.
Gosh. It's so awesome.
I was not a fan of the whoever they got for the American version. I forget the guy's name, and I'm sure he's a lovely person, but he sounded so bored.
What, reading it?
Yeah.
Ugh. No, I purposely got the British one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'd rather listen to it in the actual language that was intended to be. And it is wonderful. You know, I never understood, what was it? I never understood, when was the first time it was brought up? Ron was talking to Harry, and Ron asks Harry, why do you think she doesn't want to tell us who she's going to the dance with? And Harry says, because she knows we'll tire the mickey out of her if she is. And I never understood what they meant. Super hush. And then I read it, and then I listened to it again, and it was like, oh my gosh, they're essentially saying that they would, like, kill Joy. Like, they would totally pop a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But I never understood it.
Trooper! Allowed to have a pigeon.
What? A pigeon?
Opinion.
Opinion.
You can have a pigeon if you want.
Can I have a carrier pigeon?
I think those are still a thing.
I wanted to carry messages.
To who?
I don't know.
Carrier pigeons have been extinct for like 60 years. Longer, actually.
But there are carrier pigeon races still.
Well, the actual carrier pigeon is extinct.
But there are still people out there training some other sort of pigeon.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think you could probably train almost any bird to do it.
Mockingjay.
Ravens.
Yeah, ravens.
Actually, legitimately ravens.
Ravens would be good.
Any type of blackbirds, like all the blackbird species, are smart enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you treat them well, they'll take messages. Like, people laugh at, like, no, I can't think of it. Sort of,
The hell is that show called? It's on HBO, and I can't think of it. Sword of Thrones? No.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, thank you.
The first, it's called the Swords of Ice and Fire series. The book series. Game of Thrones.
Songs of Ice and Fire?
The song, sorry, yeah. The first book is the Game of Thrones, and they just named the show after it.
Yeah, but like everybody laughed, and they were using like ravens to send messages. I'm like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. They're very smart. Like, actually, very smart. If they're treated well, they'll gladly do that for payment.
And our town is full of ravens. I'm sure you can just capture some and train them. I'm actually surprised there isn't someone in town doing that.
Yeah, except for I couldn't. Blackbirds, any kind of blackbirds would freak the hell out of me. I was raised with the superstitions of blackbirds.
Well, that's because your mom is crazy. And not pleasant sort of crazy.
But ravens are the harbingers of death.
Ravens are just birds.
They're the harbingers of death because of the Black Plague. They're carrion crows is what they used to call them.
Thank you, see?
Okay.
They're not picky, and they're not susceptible to bubonic plague, so they'd eat the shit out of the dead bodies piling up outside of fucking city-states in Europe during the Black Plague.
Last time I checked the tax data for that, I think they're good. Though, also, I don't think there's a bunch of plague-ridden bodies laying around for them to
They also carry souls to hell.
Are you an atheist the last time I checked?
I'm not an atheist.
I'm sorry, agnostic then?
Agnostic.
So you can neither prove nor disprove the existence of a god instead of just being like me and being like, you can't prove anything anyway.
No, I read the definition of it, and I completely agree. We are stuck in the middle. There may or may not be something out there, here. We're just not going to, pray to it. We're not going to change our lifestyle, and we're certainly not going to let somebody tell us how to be a good person. I am a good person the way that I believe I should be a good person. And fuck everybody else. And believe me, I have religious people all over the... I have religious people all over the place. Like, even my mom. My mom's always arguing with me about it. She's like, you were raised Catholic, and you need to continue with your Catholic roots and believe in God, and how could you not believe in God? And it's like, okay, so you can shut up now? That would be really nice.
Lord.
She's somehow going to keep talking when she's dead.
I know, right? No, she's going to outlive me just out of spite. I know it. She's gonna make it to like 120 just to watch me die at like 70. Wait, the math's not right on that.
When I was forced to, what's the word I'm looking for, declare my religious views, I went with secular humanist, which is nicer than saying atheist.
Mm-hmm.
When asked to explain, I basically wrote it down as this: a more literal expression of my beliefs that embraces human reason, ethics, social justice, and philosophical naturalism, while specifically rejecting religious dogma, supernaturalism, pseudoscience, or superstition as the basis of morality and decision-making.
Okay. That's really cool.
This all came out because one day a classmate, swore up and down, that God was good and he would help all men who believed in him. I'm like, if you were a truly powerful being, and you had the ability to basically shape reality at will, why would you let children starve and die of AIDS in Africa?
That's why I stopped being a Catholic, because nobody could explain that to me. I ask that question almost every day. If God is so wonderful and so powerful, why are there children being beaten to death? Why are there children being murdered? Why are there children being let starve to death, die of easily treatable diseases, and all this other kind of stuff? If he's so powerful, why would he do that to children? And nobody could give me a straight answer. So I was all like, yeah, fuck you people. God doesn't exist.
Usually...
And it pisses my mom off so much that it just makes it all the more reason to do it.
I looked at it this way. I said, rather than declaring that God doesn't exist, I simply argue, why would you pray to a God like that?
Mm-hmm.
If this God is truly all powerful and can shape reality at will, why would he not choose to help everyone? Why would a God, a being with that much power, be so vindictive to say, I'm only going to help the people who think towards me? Because that's all prayer is. You're thinking, you're hoping that your thought waves will go out into the universe and some all-powerful being will hear them and answer them.
Well,
and the
it doesn't
reality
even
is,
work that way anyways. Because you could spend your entire life praying for something, and it's still not going to happen.
Yes. But if it does, you can go, divine providence.
When I was 12 years old, my grandmother got really, really sick.
Yes.
Like, super, super sick.
Yes.
And I was actually told that if I was a good girl, if I went to a church every Sunday, if I prayed appropriately every day, and if I did everything that a good little Catholic girl was supposed to do, that my grandmother would get better.
No.
Yeah, she died the morning of my 14th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, fuck you.
Dogma's a bitch like
people,
that.
I gave up Catholicism when I was 14 years old. The only way that I go to church now is weddings, funerals, baptisms, just the things that, I have to do because of family.
Oh yeah, no, I'm always.
And yes, I follow along with everybody, because it's Catholicism, sit, kneel,
oh God,
stand.
So much kneeling.
I don't actually pray. I just close my eyes and.
There's a difference between believing and being polite. Like if you're there for an event,
just be polite.
Be polite. The only time not to be polite is when, someone's being aggressive towards you.
Yeah.
Give it right back.
I just go along with it because
you don't have to.
You're
you don't have
interrupting
to go. Oops, sorry.
But don't make like a big fucking show of it.
Oh no. If you just continue to sit there, then you're distracting the person that's next to you. But if you go along with everything, like, you stand up when they stand up, you kneel when they kneel, you sit when they sit, you're not distracting the person next to you. You don't have to pray, you don't have to sing along or say anything back or anything like that. But if you go through the motions, you're not distracting anybody. And I found that out early on. So the last, 14 to 28. The last 14 years have been actually pretty cool with that. Nobody forces me to go to church, but I go when people get married, when people die, random. My mom made me go to church with her a couple of times, but she couldn't walk. So
yeah.
That was my reasoning behind it. I'm there to help my mother.
Well, it's like my experience was wide and varied going through life. I was raised Roman Catholic, like basically right up through confirmation. I got confirmed, and I told my family, no, I'm done. I fulfilled my responsibilities and my pledges to you that I would do this. I still don't believe. I believe even less than I did before this all started, so I'm done. Like, after I got confirmed, I walked out of the cathedral. I think I've said this before. I walked out of the cathedral, walked down the hill to my car, drove to McDonald's, got a Big Mac, went home, masturbated, fell asleep. That was it.
Awesome. I actually wish I had something like super like that to say. No, I was just 14 and I got in a lot of trouble because I told my mom, well, you guys are full of shit.
It's as simple as this. My parents demanded that I be intelligent, rational, and pragmatic. They demanded that I be educated. This was something that they prided themselves on. However, I'm sure you're aware that education and religion don't tend to go hand in hand with each other.
No,
if you want happy parishioners. When I was in the 6th grade, I was asked what sins I had to confess, and I said I have no sins to confess. I am a human being, and I am doing the very best I can every day. I feel no guilt for anything I've done. I'm sorry that I'm not perfect, but I have nothing to confess. And that sent just a huge shockwave I was going to a Catholic school too, so that's a big part of it. Sent this huge shockwave, and it pissed my teachers off to no end. They're like, how can you do this? How can you make this scene? I'm like, I'm simply professing how I feel. I don't feel I have anything to confess. I haven't killed anyone. I haven't raped anyone. I haven't hurt anyone. I've caused no physical, mental, or emotional violence towards any other human being. I feel no guilt for the way I live. And, you know, it wasn't quite that succinct, professional, and mature, but it was something along those lines of, I don't feel any guilt. I have caused no man any harm. I have nothing to confess. And I was told by the priest in charge of our church that there are only two kind of people. There are only two people. There are sheep and there are wolves. And I was either one or the other. I said, well, then I guess I'm a wolf because I'm certainly not a sheep.
That's a nice way to look at it. I wish I could say that I don't feel guilty at all, but my mom has superpowers and she can make me feel guilty for absolutely anything, which is one of the reasons why I don't spend a lot of time with her. Yeah. And no matter how much I tell myself, you have no reason to feel guilt. You have no reason to feel guilt. All my mom has to do is open her mouth, and I feel so super guilty. I'm ready to go up on top of a building and just jump off of it because I feel like every single part of my life is just wrong and a disaster.
That's because your mother raised you
guilt.
in a horribly emotionally and sometimes physically abusive environment that she has made you her little, doormat.
I'm my parents' little bitch. I can totally say that. All they have to do is
what
call
you're
me.
trying to say is that you've been either verbally, physically, or emotionally abused by your parents.
More her mother. Her dad is only...
My dad's a silent type.
Yeah, he's also an abuser because he didn't do anything about it, but he wasn't the one doing it.
Gotcha.
Wow,
so
when you say
by
that
your
out
mother.
loud, it sounds really bad.
Your dad is awesome, but your mom also turned him into a little bitch because of his white knight syndrome.
Oh my god, my dad has no balls, no spleen, no spine,
so
no
when it came to you and your sister, you couldn't do it either. So.
Oh no. Especially since
I'm sure if your mother had pinned you to the ground and was wailing on you with a hammer, he would have done something.
He would have done something.
But
smacking me upside the head, slapping my mouth when I said a bad word.
The emotional trauma.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you'll lose weight someday, sweetheart. Don't worry. You don't have to be pretty to get a guy.
I know, I was there for some of it.
I know. As far as my mother's concerned, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I'm stupid, and I'll never get anywhere in life.
Even though...
I'm okay with that because I have the rest of you.
You always tried to have some sort of job, pay your bills, have loving friends who you've made a family out of, and don't have a bunch of children who shouldn't.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. No. And I purposely keep people around me that can do things that I can't.
Seriously, though, if they have another kid, I might call child services.
They're planning on it.
I'm not joking.
Hip hip hooray.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful conversation.
No,
yes, it's taken a very dark turn.
Especially with a lot of the kinds of people I grew up with. I feel very blessed that I had the kind of parents I had, but that's because of the lives they've had.
Yeah.
I got very lucky there. My dad had 2 previous marriages where he had very little control over his children, and he didn't want that. And religion had, while been a big part of his childhood, and not been a big part of his teenager year or adulthood, so he was an atheist by the time I was born, and my mom's been an agnostic most of her life. So I wasn't raised in an environment where religion was a thing. It was a thing other people had.
Yeah.
It was a thing you respected other people having, but not... something you smash in
if I could go back in time and be your sister instead of
my actual sisters,
yeah. If I could just go back in time and replace your sisters and have you replace my sister.
If your mom had ever gone to the welfare department when my mom was working there and had seen the interactions with you two, my mom might have stolen me.
That would have been awesome.
Sadly, she did not.
Your mom can still adopt me. It's a thing. Adopting adults.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Hilarious.
As far as I'm concerned, you're my sister. As far as my mom's concerned, you're her daughter.
Can I be the little sister, though? Because I want to be the baby.
I think math kind of ruins that. And you are a year older than me.
God. But, I mean, I find... Like, I have no problem with religion. You know, whatever allows you to sleep at night, you know, you go ahead and do it. As long as you ain't, like, you know, killing babies. Like, I really, you know, as long as you're within the laws of the country, it's like, okay, you know, whatever helps you sleep at night, go ahead. But, like, my big thing has always been, like, I always felt like religion was so silly to begin with. Like, all the, like, the rites and circumstance and rituals and, like, I'm like... I remember going through, like, religious ed as a kid and being like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
When I was younger, I had a friend who had been baptized 3 different times.
Wow.
Because her
Just
mom...
make sure you don't end up in limbo if you die.
Yeah, whenever her mom got a new guy, they would always join that church and that faith, and almost all the time it would be like, oh, you were baptized over there? No, we got to do it again.
I always liked that. I always liked the fact that, like, in the 50s, limbo was a thing, but the church got rid of it. The Catholic Church got rid of it because it made people upset. Like, oh, yeah, your baby died during, you know, childbirth. You didn't get baptized. Oh, it's in limbo now for all eternity.
Earth is limbo. I mean, think about it. Heaven is supposed to be above us, right?
Yeah.
And hell is supposed to be below us. And limbo is supposed to be that place between heaven and hell. Hello,
it depends on
planet Earth.
No, that what you're talking about is purgatory.
Yeah, purgatory and limbo.
Purgatory is the place that exists between heaven and hell in the spiritual realm.
Limbo,
well, it has been 14 years since I've actually went to a class. So.
You go to when you're not judged.
Because you can't. They originally said that, like, all babies, any human being who was born but not baptized automatically went to hell. But that was, like, way too severe. And, like, after the Industrial Revolution, because people started to get educated, and that's a horrifying thought with all the death of stillborn and death in childbirth. And so the church came up with limbo as a thing. Like, you know, you don't go to hell, but you don't go to heaven. You're just in limbo for all eternity.
Which actually sounds worse.
Well,
yeah. The idea being is that at the end of time, at the end of existence, you know, Jesus would come and basically, Jesus or God, I can't remember which, would come and basically judge all the babies, and then, you know, some of them would go to hell and some of them would go to heaven depending on, you know, how their families had been. And it was like, that's a little fucked up. So then, like, in, like, the 80s or 90s, like, the Catholic Church got rid of limbo completely and just said, if your parents were good practicing Catholics, I have no idea how that's defined, but if your parents are good Catholics and you died before you could be baptized, you would get to go to heaven. Or maybe you sat in purgatory. I'm not exactly clear, but you wouldn't end up in limbo. You'd have to spend some time in purgatory and then you'd get to go to heaven. And I was like a baby dying during childbirth has no, like, there's no memory there. Like, what happens, you know, someone's going to go, well, what happens to the baby in heaven? Is it like, does it become like a fully functioning human being with a blank slate? Like, it never...
That would require thinking. And cognitive dissonance is a big part of religion.
And that was my whole thing. I'm always like, this is complete and utter baloney.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't, like, if you can't answer these questions, like, if you can't explain the system down to, like, the last nut and bolt, then how can you expect smart people to continue to believe in it? Like, you can't tell me why there's this all-powerful being that basically just turns his eyes away from, you know, even believers. There are plenty of good Christians in you know, like, rural Africa that are dying of horrible diseases or warfare or malnutrition or bad water or disease or just name it. And somehow they're not as important as those good first world Catholics, you know, in America and Europe. And
well, what I often hear is that God needed them.
For what?
Yeah, exactly. God, they died because God needed them. What the fuck does God need? Isn't he supposed to be, all-powerful, omnipresent sort of thing? What the fuck does he need?
The one that drives me crazy is and continues to be, well, now she's an angel up there with God. I'm like, no, they're not. You can never become an angel. An angel is not a human being.
Yes, angels are different things.
It's a thing. It's an instrument of God created by His will to serve Him. It's like a toy soldier. I mean, theoretically, they're supposed to have free will, but like not nearly as much as human beings have, since we ate from the tree of knowledge.
Yes, which we weren't supposed to do, but people say that we should be blessed because we have free will. Even though God didn't want us to.
That's one of the counter arguments you hear is like,
your story doesn't make sense.
Satan was doing us a favor. We were God's thought slaves, and he said, hey, you should eat this so you can have free will. And God was like, you weren't supposed to have free will. You're one of my toys. Now you have to go because, you're broken.
Satan supposedly punishes bad guys, so why is he a bad guy? I realize he's supposed to also be a tormentor and a tempter, but...
Here's the whole deal. Yeah. If Satan, Morningstar, the Lightbringer, was cast from heaven for trying to usurp the power of God, why is he written in Dogma as the guy that tortures bad people for all eternity when they die? Now, if you ask me, some dude who says, you know what? I don't, you are the antithesis of God. Why would you torture the bad people? You'd be like, join my army, and together we'll rise again and take the throne.
Termination of Part 2. Return for more in Part 3. Carrying on with Part 3, cucumber.
I mean, legitimately, if you're legitimately the bad guy, you've been cast from heaven by God's #1 lieutenant, why would you punish bad people? There's no reason for that. That's like old stories being converted to modern dogma, because if you ever read Dante's Inferno, Satan is basically jailed in hell as well.
He's at the bottom.
At the depths of hell, in the frozen center of hell.
Frozen part.
Yeah. That's a fun one, too. People are like, what? I'm like, yeah. 9th level of hell? It's frozen. The 3 great traitors spent their eternity there.
Only certain parts are on fire.
I'm sorry, 3 great traitors?
Yep.
So, Satan,
Judas Iscariot, and I think it was Barabbas?
Is it Barabbas or Barabbas?
I don't remember.
I was going to say
the guy Judas told.
Yeah.
The Roman guy. Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
The Divine Comedy is actually a great read.
I have never read it.
Well, most people only know the Dante's Inferno part, so. And then wildly and accurately talk about it.
Yeah, I don't even know that.
Like the game, Dante's Inferno. Some parts of it are great, and other parts of it are really fucking lazy. And then making him a Templar for some goddamn reason.
Well, you have to remember, I don't necessarily have, intellect of that type. I don't seek out information. I like fairy tales. I like stories, fantasy.
It is a fairy tale. It is fantasy. It's the because I am terrible and can't remember his full name. What is his full name?
But basically, the lowest level of hell is treachery. Those who would usurp their masters, which in the medieval times?
It's Middle Ages.
Middle Ages, okay. In the Middle Ages was the worst sin one could commit, to be a treacherous swine.
I actually don't know how to say Dante's last name. Super old Italian is hard.
Let me take a look. I can't remember his last name either.
Hang on, I'll just thank you.
I got it. Hang on. She refuses to listen to me. She just does whatever she wants.
'Cause I'm Kiki, motherfuckers!
Wow.
That and the Divine Comedy had a lot of making fun of people who he thought were shitheads. He'd put them in hell in different horrible ways. Actually, I might have a copy of the John comedy, but I don't think you'd like it. You don't tend to like old style writing, and that's pretty old style.
I can't get through it.
Yeah.
When it's updated, I can get through it.
I'm sure there's I'm pretty sure there's
Dante Alighieri.
Thank you.
Ow.
He got so excited.
Alighieri?
There's a whole bunch. It looks like there's a whole bunch of other letters there that you don't like. There's a whole bunch of letters that don't actually work into anything because the way it's pronounced in Italian is not even close to the way it's pronounced in English.
Mm-hmm. I find that a lot with Italian words.
That's right. There's levels. The levels are worse and worse. So limbo is the first circle of hell. It's the unbaptized virtuous pagans, although not sinful, do not accept Christ. Limbo shares many characteristics of the Asphodel Meadows. Guiltless damned are punished by living a deficient form of heaven. So there's no happiness, but there's no pain. You just it's like earth.
No.
Lust is the second circle.
Isn't lust the tornado?
Let's see here. Yeah, terrible winds, a violent storm without rest.
Yeah.
Then gluttony. Isn't that the one where the people eat shit? Mud.
Yeah, they're in filth, I think.
Yeah.
They're
Greed.
reduced to pigs.
What's greed? I can't remember what you get for being greedy. Two groups have to joust using as weapons great weights which they push with their chests.
Okay.
Wow. That's interesting. Anger. A swamp like water, the river Styx, the wrathful fight each other on the surface, and the sullen lie gurgling beneath the water withdrawn into black sulkiness, which can find no joy in God or man or the universe. The lower parts of hell are contained within the walls of the city of Dis, which is self-surrounded by the Stygian marsh. Punished within Dis are active rather than passive sins. The walls of Dis are guarded by the fallen angels.
Yay!
The sixth circle, heresy, which is all of us at this point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Why, what's heresy?
Talking ill of the religion.
Oh!
Basically, anyone who doesn't accept Jesus Christ is a heretic.
Yeah.
I'm a heretic. Yay!
Who will be trapped in flaming tombs.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like fun.
The seventh circle of hell, violence, guarded by minotaurs, divided into 3 rings. The outer ring, the ring houses the violent against people and property. Sinners are immersed in a river of boiling blood and fire to commiserate with their sin.
Yeah, he name checks a couple of people in that one.
Alexander the Great, up to his eyebrows.
Attila the Hun, lots.
Attila the Hun, yep. Centaurs commanded by Shenron and Pholus patrol the ring, shooting arrows at any sinner who emerges higher the river than each is allowed. A centaur, Nasus, guides the poets along, and across the ford, the widest shallowest stretch of the river. Middle ring, the ring of suicides and profligates. I actually don't even know what that is. Spendthrifts, oh god. Wow, spendthrifts? Really? You're cheap? You're gonna be in the fucking 7th level of hell for being cheap.
Yeah, because they held finance higher than God, I guess.
I guess.
That used to be a thing, so.
Against self are transformed into gnarled, thorny bushes and trees and then fed upon by harpies. Wow. That's fun.
Increase the fix up. No, I'm okay. Okay.
Ooh. I want to be in the inner ring.
For the blasphemers and the sodomites?
Sure.
The desert.
The difference. Yeah, the difference is we're just heretics. Blasphemers actually commit acts against the believers.
Oh, like people who throw things at churches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So
I'll go hang out with the blasphemers.
Or we're in the outer ring. I'm sorry, the middle ring is suicide and spendthrift.
Yeah.
It's like spendthrift is like 7th level of hell. Like, oh, okay.
And the inner ring is the flaming desert. Ooh.
Sodomites and blasphemers.
Yep.
Sodom and Gomorrah. This is like the inner ring is basically what you think of when you think of hell as a place.
Mm-hmm, where it's raining fire from the sky.
Yes. 8th circle, fraud. Conscious fraud or treachery. Can only be reached by ascending a vast cliff, which they do on the back of a winged monster.
Mm-hmm.
And there are evil pockets, ditches of stone.
Mm-hmm.
So level 1 or Bulgia 1, panderers and seducers. Whipped by demons, separate lines, opposite directions. Wow. Bulgia 2, flatterers, us as other people this time using language. They're steeped in human excrement, which represents the words they produce. They're full of shit.
Yep.
Level 3, Dante now forcibly expresses condemnation of those committed simony, which are placed headfirst in holes in the rocks, which flames burning on the soles of their feet.
Is the act of paying to receive sacraments.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing that was totally cool for a long time. And then they decided that it was a total bullshit move to be like, I'm going to pay my way into heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Catholic Church still wants you to pay your way into heaven.
Yes, but you're being a kind person then.
Yes.
You still get blessings if you don't.
Donations.
Yeah.
Exactly. I like Bulgia 4. Sorcerers, astrologers, and false prophets had their heads twisted around on their bodies backwards, so they found it necessary to walk backwards because they could not see ahead of them. So basically, people playing with magic should not have been. Wow, number 5. Corrupt politicians are immersed in a lake of boiling pitch, which represents their sticky fingers and dark secrets.
Yay!
This is all allegory, but this shit is fucking dark. Bulgia 6. Poets find the hypocrites listlessly walking along wearing gilded lead cloaks, which represent their falsity behind their surface appearances. Wow. Bulgia 7. 2 cantos are devoted to the thieves, guarded by Centaur, who has a fire-breathing dragon on his shoulder and snakes covering his equine back. Thieves are pursued and bitten by snakes and lizards. The full horror of the thieves' punishment is revealed gradually. Just as they stole other people's substance in life, their very identity becomes subject to theft here. The snake's bites make them undergo various transformations. Vane Fuchi is turned into ash, resurrected. Agnolo is blended with 6-legged reptile that is Cinepha. Busov's exchanges shape with the 4-legged Francisco. The soul that had become an animal now hissing herd along off the valley. The other one behind him speaks and spits. That's just crazy. Not even really horrifying as a punishment. Just like, whoa, okay. Number 8 are devoted to fraudulent advisors or evil counselors who are concealed within individual flames. Wow.
Not so much for people who give false advice, but people who use their position to advise others to engage in fraud.
So I wouldn't consider the Trojan horse fraud?
Yep.
That's how they look at warfare. Like, now we don't consider that a fraudulent move in war.
Like,
we consider
that's
that
brilliant.
That's brilliant. Number 9. A sword-wielding demon hacks at the sores of discord, dividing parts of their bodies if life they divided others. As they make their rounds, the wounds heal, only to have the demons tear apart their bodies again. Here he finds Muhammad. Wow. They consider Islam an offshoot of Christianity, which isn't true. It's an offshoot of Abrahamic religions, which is where you get Islam and Judaism separate from.
Yeah.
It's fun to realize at one point, Yahweh, the being that we consider the Christian God, was one of like 12 or 13 brothers.
Yeah.
And people just stopped talking about his brothers. It also happens that Yahweh was the god of war, which also explains why God becomes so much less, violent with time, as people forget that he was, basically the equivalent of Mars, or Ares. I mean, like, I'm not saying anything against religion. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the roots, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, things change over time. Things blend and merge.
And finally, in Bulgia 10, falsifiers, alchemists, counterfeiters, perjurers, and imposters who are a disease on society are themselves afflicted with different types of disease. So you're just going to have boils all over your body. Have fun with that. Finally, we make it to the 9th circle of hell, treachery. So let's see, what do we have here? The Malbosh, visible from the waist up. They include Nimrod, Euphestes, Boreas, Typhos, Typhon. Oh, these are the giants.
Yeah.
Traitors are merely fraudulent in their acts into betraying a special relationship of some kind. There are 4 concentric zones or rounds of traitors. These rounds correspond in order of seriousness to betrayal of family ties. So that's the lesser of all of them, is you betray your family, betrayal of your community, then betrayal of your guests, and then betrayal of your lord. Wow.
So, yeah, it goes Cain,
who killed his brother,
and then Atentior, the guy from Troy.
Yep. Ptolemea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ptolemea, son of Abyss.
And Judeca.
Named after Judas Iscariot.
The
betrayer of Christ, the worst sin of all. You betrayed the Son of God.
Who is also God, according to modern.
Yes.
And at the very center you have Satan, who is waist deep in ice and weeping tears from his 6 eyes.
Oh, that's what it was. Brutus Cassius. And then in the center, most vicious mouth is Judas Iscariot. Although it's really interesting when you consider that basically Judas was born only to betray Jesus.
Yeah.
That was his role in reality, was to betray the Son of God. So it's an interesting thing to say that they send him to hell for doing it, because that was his role. He was the man who would betray God.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that I mean, at that time and place, it was believed that everything was preordained. So why would he go to hell? It was his job. It was his role in the story to betray him.
Well, because they couldn't reward him just because he did exactly what he was meant to do. They have to punish him to keep other people from doing the same thing.
But see, that's the whole deal. It once again makes you wonder why you would pray to a god like this. You created a being to commit an act, to fulfill a prophecy, who you will punish for all eternity for being created to do an act.
That's how he looks in How to Train Your Dragon 2. The second one. Cool. Because he's older.
Yes, that looks awesome.
But a lot of people forget that it's the divine colony. It's not just Dante's Inferno. He also goes to Purgatory and Paradise.
Yes.
Yeah, and it describes those places as well, but people only care about hell.
No, when I was younger, like way younger, and my mom was actually a little more sane, she explained to me, before she went all religious crazy when I was a teenager, that God was something that people came up with to give them hope, to give them a reason to keep on going. Because if you're someone who has absolutely nothing in your life, you have nothing to wake up to, you have nothing to look forward to, then being able to go to bed and go, but at the end of my life, I get to go to heaven and I get to be with
see all
God.
The people I loved, yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that, it gives you someone to talk to every day, even if they don't talk back. It gives you a place to go where there's other people who believe the same thing that you believe. And for people who have absolutely nothing in their lives, they have no hope, they have no faith, getting handed, God, someone who will never stop loving you unless you're a bad person.
Yes, unless.
Well, they describe it as unconditional love.
With conditions.
With conditions, yeah. But, you get handed this person who will always listen to everything that you have to say. They'll just never respond.
Except for those people who think he does.
Yeah, except for those people who think he does. And, it seems like a really good deal for people who have nothing.
Well, you gotta consider that
something.
Christianity rose out of a time when most Christians were slaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they needed something.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't serve a purpose. I just mean, it gets, horribly twisted over the ages to fit what the people need.
I actually think the person who did the biggest damage was King James, because he hated women so much.
Yeah.
That he twisted it so badly to the point that...
Not that it was a blessing to women before that.
It wasn't a true blessing to women before that, but he made it worse. And there's still people who read the King James Version.
I think that's what you mostly find in motels these days.
Mm-hmm. And the King James Version essentially tells you women are absolutely worthless. There's no point to them except for procreation.
Well, yeah, we created the original sin and are forever punished for it.
But technically we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Technically we did not create the original sin. I mean, if you read the story from the Old Testament, if you read it, we were tricked. We were not given intelligence in the first place.
Here's the biggest problem, okay? The thing they don't talk about that doesn't come up but is described in some other forms of the Genesis is that Adam and Eve were not the only humans on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
There is a good chance, probably a great chance, depending on where your ancestry is, that if Adam and Eve were a real set of people, they were not your original ancestors. Like, if you're going to go by the biblical theological sense of the word, thus you have no original sin, only the idea that you have original sin. The chances...
It sure feels like we're being punished, doesn't it?
Well, that's because when you want to subjugate something, you say that it's less.
Yeah.
Like,
how are we being punished? We live on a planet that is 97%
I think
water.
she meant women.
Women.
Oh, well, that's just society in general.
Just by being physically, mentally, we are the more emotional sex.
That's still not true.
It feels true.
That's a stereotype.
We are the ones who go through the most pain.
That depends on the person.
In our time, in our lives.
I will give you that men don't have periods, but not every woman has a terrible period.
You want to hear the story behind that? You can, if you like me believe in evolution, then that's thanks to a certain species of worm that sheds its for lack of a better word, vaginal lining about once a quarter, and that little fucking genetic trait got passed along to everything that came after it.
Mm-hmm. And it's on for us.
Okay. Still,
Then,
painful.
well, yeah, you're expelling something from your body.
And then
Yeah, you're shedding the lining of your vaginal cavity.
Okay.
I can't imagine that wouldn't be painful.
It exists in nature does not mean it's without issue. It's not a perfect system. Hyenas have it really shitty, too. We're not the only ones that have shitty birth things. I mean,
Hey,
the grand
be
scheme of
glad.
things, it's pretty actually great.
Let me put something to you. Be glad you're not one of the species that doesn't have a vaginal opening. You have an orifice. There are species that literally the male comes up and penetrates you, not in the sense of sticks it in, but as in sticks it through you and into your egg sac.
Ew. Don't cockroaches do that?
Yeah.
I think so. It's mostly arthropods and worms and a couple gastropods, but everything from like crustaceans forward have, because dimorphism is something that exists from basically. Let me see here. It's not dimorphism. Dimorphism.
Grieve has this look on his face of what? I don't think she understands what dimorphism is.
Dimorphism means that there's a male and a female only of the species. There are no standard hermaphrodites that could switch sexes at some point in their lifespan.
Fish.
Well, of course we're
Well,
not.
a lot of fish aren't supposed to do that either. That's because we fucking pour, stuff like fucking birth control down the toilet. They're not supposed to do that. I hate to tell you folks this, but fish aren't supposed to change sex. That's because they have no way to protect themselves from fucking hormones in the goddamn water, and we have no way of cleaning it out.
Yes, but clownfish are a good example of something that, because something happened, changes it.
Oh yeah, you're citing a specific example.
Yeah. When the largest of the adult clownfish dies, the next largest becomes a female.
Gotcha.
The largest is essentially always the female.
But I think sexual dimorphism basically starts occurring after, it's like jellyfish. Like once you get past jellyfish in the evolutionary tree, you start seeing it. Like some worms, roundworms for the most part, and then beyond that you get like crustaceans and mollusks and gastropods, and you see it. And then it's like after that it's obvious. It's reptiles, birds, mammals, amphibians. To be fair, the whole shedding of the lining is actually a predominant mammal trait, but it is apparent in all levels of evolution.
Sorry, we're still listening to you.
No, I'm just considering my education, wondering, why I even bother to know these things.
Somebody has to.
But I mean, like, the more you look at nature, the more you feel like it's a big joke, because, like, so many things that like we consider like standard human nature are stuff that, like, earlier in the evolutionary chain, something developed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much how it works.
I mean, like, dimorphism was a mutation, because what you find is the most basic life forms don't need to worry about that. They can just basically reproduce. They can clone themselves and change a couple lines of code, and they're good to go.
Apparently, when you become, as people like to put it, complex, whatever.
Yes.
You have to do things differently. We all want to be different, don't we?
Yes.
I certainly don't want to be a hyena, though.
No.
Or lady hyenas.
Wait, were lady hyenas the ones that, like, menstruate for, like, a month?
I think they have a heavy menstruation, but they also have, like, a fake penis and a very shallow,
Oh, yeah.
The birth is difficult for them, and then having sex in the first place, like, it's difficult for a male hyena to get up in there.
Did we run out of topics?
No, we were just taking a breather.
We're just considering where I'm gonna head next.
I'm okay with not talking about,
reproductive cycles.
Yeah, I'm sorry I started it.
Yeah, because everyone loves babies, right?
I mean, even if you move away from mammals and you go to the egg layers, there's some weird stuff there, too.
Try to keep in mind that every time you have eggs over easy or scrambled eggs, you're eating chicken menstruation.
Pretty much.
Yes. That's
I
right,
was
folks.
okay with eating, with knowing I was eating unfertilized eggs.
Well,
I was okay with that, but once you say menstruation,
well, because
I'm done.
That's what, when you have your lady times, your lady explosions, as I like to call them.
When Aunt Flo comes to town.
Yeah, you're expelling all the stuff that was there for the baby. That's essentially what's inside that egg.
Yeah. I'm not gonna eat eggs anymore.
You'll eat eggs. We'll just have
you always talk about, like, oh man, you're eating the unborn of chickens. Don't you ever think about that? I'm like, here's the deal. No, you're literally eating their mature egg cells because they're unfertilized. You're eating them what is basically menstrual leftovers.
Mm-hmm. And it's tasty.
Oh yeah, it's full of protein.
Good for baking.
When you consider what you're eating is the embryo, well, actually, yeah, you're eating the embryo of a chicken.
Well, yeah, when you eat anything, you're eating some sort of part of another thing. You're doing that with plants, too. It's a little less creepy because they're plants, not animals, but still.
Actually, you're just eating the fruiting body of its sexual organ.
Yeah.
And that's not actually gross, because fruit actually exists to do that.
Yeah.
They develop fruit so that you'll eat it and poop out the seeds. I'm not even joking. Like, you're not eating something that you're not supposed to be eating. Like, the plant specifically developed or evolved the ability to make fruit so you would eat it and spit the seeds out somewhere else so it could propagate its line.
Yes. Although we poop into toilets, so we're kind of ruining the point of it.
Yeah. But we also propagate.
That we could be pooping.
We also purposely propagate their line.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. We're still doing what they evolved us to want to do, which is propagate the line of good fruit. Stuff that is a winner, you get at the grocery shelf. The stuff that isn't gets killed off.
Although there are people against that, so heaven forbid we have the ability farming, essentially.
No, people are against genetic modification.
No, I've met people against farming in general.
I don't know how you could be against farming, but
because
okay.
we have taken it out of nature's hand by forcing it, by planting seeds and whatnot.
You do understand that all modern produce that we eat is nothing like its original ancestor, right? Like, everything has been specially developed by us to eat.
Yeah, but then there's idiots in the world that either choose to believe that nature brought it on, or they refuse to eat it because they know that it was genetically modified.
Then they're not allowed to eat anything, really.
Yeah,
They look the other way.
There's a big difference between selective breeding and genetically modifying a species. We've been selectively breeding for thousands of years. That's why we have things like seedless bananas. Yes, you know those yellow bananas that you eat that everyone loves? They weren't originally seedless. That's something we came up with. We crossed two species together and got a seedless goddamn banana herb. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a herb, not a plant. It's a herb. It's a fucking bush. They're not trees, they're fucking bushes. And no, it's not herb, it's herb. We're not French. Fuck off.
My name is French.
Kikibaru?
No.
I'm like, that seems Japanese to me.
No, my non-online name. My
your real name.
Yeah, my maiden name / half of my actual last name is French.
Yeah.
Not that I'm French, nor have I ever been to France.
No.
And I remember almost none of the French I learned when I was younger, so...
Exactly.
Nobody's fault but yours.
Well, the only person I spoke in French to was my brother, because he was taking it in high school, and sometimes my dad.
It's always fun to drop the banana logic on a Christian who's going, see, this is proof of a god because the banana fits perfectly in her hand, and you can peel it apart and eat it, there's no seeds. And I'm like, you do realize that domesticated yellow bananas are something we developed over about 20 years of breeding, right?
Yeah.
And they just stare at you like you're fucking crazy. I'm like, no. You ever seen a wild banana? They're little, they're brown, and they're full of big, hard seeds, like fucking corn seeds.
Spilled tea on my boobs.
And they're like, oh, like, and you pull up the picture, you go, this little brown wild banana plus this big green plantain banana gives you this yellow domesticated banana.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you don't see fucking wild bananas in the market is because they're fucking gross.
Yep.
They taste the same, but you really want to be spitting fucking banana seeds out? No.
This is the end of part 3. Remain with us for part 4. You are now listening to part 4.
It's like you try to explain to somebody, like, they're like, but there are no seeds in oranges or grapes. And I'm like, wow, you must be fucking retarded.
There are seeds in oranges.
You can get seedless oranges.
You can get seedless oranges?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
That's why I was making the joke.
Yeah.
I knew about the
think we
seedless
call
grapes,
them. I think we
those
call
are the
them
only ones I'll
something
eat.
else here in California.
Navel oranges?
They might be navel oranges.
No,
That's what we
because I
call
get navel oranges and they have seeds in them.
They shouldn't. That's why they're a navel orange.
Yeah.
I always find seeds.
Then
I'm
I don't
pretty
like
sure.
seeds, so I pick them out. Research.
I'm pretty sure we might call them different.
California navel oranges? The orange exists as a hybrid between the pomelo and the mandarin. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, navel oranges are the seedless ones.
So how come I find seeds?
Because I think you're being gypped on by someone just putting a name on it.
Ah.
Or are you saying the one from your parents' backyard?
No, the ones I buy at the store that say navel oranges.
What store?
Well, it's still possible. It's still possible to get some seeds in navel oranges, but there shouldn't be a lot, like 1 or 2.
Okay, when we mean seeds, we mean seeds.
Oh.
Just like occasionally you'll see a seed in a seedless watermelon. It's not a perfect system.
Yeah. I don't like finding seeds in watermelons.
I'm sure you also like eating food.
Oh, Lord, Yal is online.
He is.
Yes, he just came online.
My mom used to tell me that if I swallowed a watermelon seed, it would grow in my stomach.
Like I said, your mother's a terrible person. Like, I will give you that playground kids say that because their older sibling told that to be a shithead, but that's not something your parents should tell you. Me and my brother used to spit seeds out in the backyard.
Well, the one I always find interesting is, like, what Americans call not muskmelons. Oh crap, cantaloupes are not actually cantaloupes. Like actual cantaloupes are a whole different thing altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But they were bred to have the seeds in the middle. That's why you always see the stuff where the guy, cracks the cantaloupe in half and then scoops the seeds out, and you're good.
A lot of what farming has been is making the food more pleasant
Yes,
and plentiful.
exactly.
Or easier to grow.
Which is why you can get 4 or 5 times as much grain off of one stalk of wheat.
Mm-hmm. It's so tiny.
Can I have a little snake like that?
You'd have to ask, the thing you live with.
He'll say that the cats will eat it.
Okay, Sookie might eat it.
Sookie might eat it, yeah.
Then again, Sookie might eat a fake snake too, given the chance.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to clean that out of the litter box.
I don't have room for a snake. I totally would want one.
Oh, there's so many different animals I'd have if my cats weren't evil.
They're your cats.
Do you remember Dragon Ball?
You've told him the Majin Cat story, I think.
Oh. She's evil. She has the sign on her head to prove it.
I don't know, she's a little darling to me.
That's because she chose you as her true master. You can keep her.
No. Because my evil cat will kill her. She's sassy and rip her and mean everything. Actually.
Bones, would you like a cat?
No.
No, he'd like a doggy.
You want a doggy?
I only do dogs.
What, are you a cat hater?
I'm allergic.
To just cats?
Yep.
That's the thing, they have different dangers. They also have different oils. A lot of people are allergic to the oil.
There's hairless cats.
The hairless cats, I think, still have the oil. They do make hypoallergenic cats for the people who are allergic to the oil, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
Just for a cat, when you could have a different kind of pet.
I just like cats. They're so much easier than dogs.
That's a shame, because Ringo loves you. To be fair, Ringo loves anybody who will scratch his butt, but he's a dog.
I don't really like dogs, though. I don't think I ever really have. I liked one dog. She died. Well, I'm done.
Things die. Get over it.
Yeah, but I like cats. I can prove it. Because I keep on replacing them when they die.
Sometimes you don't even wait that long.
Hey.
I'm sorry, how many cats do you have?
I was given permission for each one.
Good Lord.
What? There is no good Lord. Didn't we have that conversation?
It's an expression.
Like OMG?
OMG.
OMG.
OMG, barbecue.
Did you just call me barbecue?
It's not so much of a thing anymore, and you weren't really on the internet when it was. But you were supposed to. It was like before Zom. It was, for some reason, you had a BBQ after it. We're so excited. I remember when that became a thing, and I didn't understand that. I make myself sound really old when I say that.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That's okay. When it comes to the internet, you were my grandma.
That makes it sound like I don't understand anything your grandma.
No, I'm a baby. Because I have to be younger than you.
In what universe? I will pick up one of my canes and hit you.
In that universe. Woman needs a cane. She's older than me.
Just because I like tea, I have tea cozies, I have what are considered grandma sweaters, and I use canes.
Just keep on talking. You are just.
I'm not wearing my eyeglass chain right now.
Good Lord, woman.
Grandma leaves you her porn collection.
Oh yes,
God.
please. Yours is extensive compared to mine.
So am I that creepy uncle?
I thought you were the creepy uncle.
I wouldn't say creepy. I'd say you're the cool uncle.
No, you would be considered the creepy uncle.
I wouldn't.
Not the creepy uncle you keep away from your kids, but just the creepy uncle.
The creepy uncle that your kids can't associate with until after they turn 18.
That makes him sound like the bad kind of creepy uncle.
Who are you? I'm your old uncle Cupcake.
Ooh, Cupcake Fish Head.
Oh Lord.
That's your whole name.
Cupcake Fish Head?
Cupcake Fish Head.
Hey, that's Doctor. Cupcake Fish Head.
Dr.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm no mister. I have my doctorate.
Dr. Cupcake Fishhead.
Paging Dr. Fishhead. Dr. Fishhead.
Dr. Cupcake Fishhead. Please come to the front desk.
She's dying.
It's alright. We'll use her body for science.
I did not approve of that.
You're dead. You can't stop us.
I don't want my body used for science.
So you don't want to help the world?
Screw the world. What did the world ever do for me?
Allow you to exist in it? Feed you? Last time I checked, you weren't a farmer.
The world didn't feed me. I feed me because I earn the money to buy my food.
Yeah, but you don't make the food. Someone else had to make the food.
So that still doesn't mean that they are keeping me alive. That
Yes,
still means
they
I
are.
am keeping me alive.
You merely are keeping your alive in the sense that you can afford to buy it, but if they don't, do the work to make it, it doesn't matter if you have money.
This doesn't make any sense.
What are you trying to dig out of your boob?
I have crumbs.
That's why we eat over the sink.
This is irritating.
How many crumbs can you have?
A lot.
Lots, apparently.
Yeah, you might want to just
They're really big boobies.
open up from the bottom. There we go. Are they in your sports bra?
They were.
There you go.
Just leave me hanging.
Well, I'm pretty sure you know how to get your own tits back in your bra. Your ineffectual sports bra that you have to wear more than one of.
It's not my fault that they don't make sports bras for girls that are very well endowed.
It's not your fault that they don't make sports bra that actually makes sense. With structure and restraint.
I didn't want to pay that much.
Really, it's just your fault for being born a woman. Let's just cut the chase.
Oh, the forever strife of womanhood.
I'm not gonna lie. Having been a man my entire life, I would never want to be a woman. Just seems like it sucks to be you guys.
I would be perfectly fine if I woke up tomorrow and I was a guy.
I don't know.
I feel bad for my boyfriend, because, then he'd have to be gay. But,
Okay, have to be? You guys could just not have sex.
no.
Or she could catch and he could throw.
Yeah, you still have a butt.
I still have a butt. But I would be perfectly fine waking up tomorrow and being a guy. I would actually prefer that. I don't like being a girl.
I don't know, I like my girls.
My boobies are too big.
You guys and your giant tatas, I swear to God.
Oh yeah, you got a picture, huh?
Yes.
Funny. We went out right after we got done talking to you, and we took that picture right in the living room.
That wasn't the first picture.
Yeah,
the
he
other
was
picture
complaining to
was
me.
cool.
She's like, she wanted picture after picture. I'm like, this is good enough. We have stuff to do.
We only took like 2.
That's more than we needed to.
You exaggerate.
That's where comedy comes from.
Kiki's just willing to accept that she looks like shit all the time.
Dude, I don't care. I gave up caring long ago.
I am not willing to accept that I look like shit. There has to be a good angle.
I am one damn sexy bitch, and I don't care what the rest of you.
I try not to have pictures taken since I always look like shit myself.
I don't know. I have been reaffirmed. Is that the right way to say that?
I don't know what you're trying to say. Finish your sentence.
I speak
look
English
like
sometimes.
You do not look like crap. You are a sexy woman.
Uh-huh. You saw the picture of me for my sister's wedding.
Crap still would have done. It's not your fault the dress was shitty.
What's it about weddings and like shitty dresses?
Oh my god, my sister hates me so
Okay, first off, it's not even
much.
her actual wedding. She's been married for a while. It's one of those, we didn't get a big wedding, so now that we have money, only we don't actually have money.
We're gonna pretend like we're having a wedding?
Yeah.
It was, they renewed their vows.
Oh, whatever.
Apparently,
Why
like,
not just have a party and skip the fucking wedding? My God.
They wasted money
Yeah.
when they don't really have it.
Yeah.
It's my whole thing. People are like, we're gonna renew our vows and we didn't have money when we got married. And it's like, why don't you just have a big fucking party and skip the wedding?
Yeah. But, so.
Shit. I'll go take the course and become an ordained minister so I can be there like, you do? Yes. You? Yes. Great. Kiss. Let's go.
Actually, my brother almost got ordained online to marry us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you couldn't find a pastor that would do it?
No, we weren't going to go to a pastor in the first place. We just went down to the courthouse because it's really easy. But for a little while before the day, we had this idea that maybe Greg could marry us, but he didn't have the time. So
my dad has a friend that's ordained.
It's not that hard to get ordained.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But he's the one that did the ceremony.
You just join the Church of Light, which is not that bad. It's mostly about not so much having a religion as much as about being a good person.
That's nice. But no, so ugly turquoise dress that was like 3 sizes too small for me.
And had an open back.
Which,
unless you're willing to buy the equipment, open back dresses are not nice to big-breasted girls.
Nope, not even remotely.
And it didn't fit her in the first place. So
Wait. Stop. If you're not willing to buy the equipment, what equipment are we talking about?
They make bras that essentially squish your boobs together and pull everything up by putting stuff underneath them that stick to the sides of your body so that you don't have to have anything in the back.
Oh, it's like a bra bustier type deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. I apologize. I was just curious what the equipment was. I'm like, you don't have the right equipment. I'm like, you kind of have the equipment if you got boobs that big. I don't know what equipment you'd be missing.
It's because, as fashionistas would say, you're not supposed to see the bra strap. So a backless dress is not nice to big-breasted women who prefer wearing bras.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
you kind of have to have a bra if you're above a certain size, because it's just
unless you've never worn a bra and you're used to it. But yeah.
No, I just mean for those backless dresses, like if you don't have some sort of support, Jesus Christ, you're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because gravity is not nice.
Gravity's not meant to be nice.
Gravity sucks.
In the sense that it makes it so we don't just go flying off the planet. It's nice because I don't want to die in the upper atmospheres.
Yes,
it gets hot and then it gets cold and then it gets hot and then it's cold and you're dead way before
I did not ask to have millins attached to the front of my body. I did not ask for that. And I think my mother's genetics are very mean because they seem to be getting bigger.
That's more of a you're getting heavier thing.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And then gravity comes down and goes, ooh, there's these things sticking off the side of your body, so I'm going to put pressure on them.
Yes, so gravity is a malicious being.
Gravity is a very malicious being.
To boobs, they are.
To boobs, they are.
Except for those times where suddenly they are the bounciest thing in the world, and then you hit yourself in the face and go across the street.
You can say that louder.
Yes, once when I was younger, I was running across the street, and my boob slightly came out of my bra and whacked me in the fucking face.
And then I laughed my ass off.
I was also smaller in boob size then, so that was back in just the double D days.
Wait, you didn't have the man killers you have now?
I don't know, they were kind of man killers then, but these are supposed to be triple, but I'm not quite fitting into the triple Ds anymore. I might want to go to an F or a G.
Jesus, Kiki! Oh my God!
Because I'm a triple D.
Yeah, I'm a triple D
and
too.
You're bigger than me.
Well, it's also about the letter size is also about the waist size.
Well, I know
and
that.
Fs are also triple Ds. They're the same, but they tend to have smaller waist size.
Okay, I know that, but like one of my boobs versus one of your boobs, like my boob is like dwarfed.
That we buy different brands, so.
Yeah, I go to this really nice place called Lane Bryant where all the girls are chubby
and they cost more than my bras do.
Well, I get personal attention. I don't.
Yeah, but you also get fitted correctly too. My friend,
Lane Bryant is pretty good. At least the one near us.
Yeah, one of my friends, that was the first place she ever got correctly fitted for a bra, because otherwise I guess she was wearing, like, way the wrong size.
They're expensive, but they're very good about not just decent bra technology, but making sure you're wearing the right thing. But I have my mom.
And being nice to you and making you feel comfortable when, just like me, I got personally laughed out of Victoria's Secrets by some skinny little piece of shit that had no tits.
So first off, Victoria's Secrets for women who don't have our kind of boobs. They're for like D.
They're for flat-chested whores.
No, they're for like D and under.
They're for young flat girls. Legitimately, like, all right.
A lot of their marketing.
Don't even talk to me about Victoria's Secret because it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just marketing for girls. Like, yes, I like that kind of lingerie. It's pretty. I'm a guy. I'm not gonna make any excuses if I see a girl I'm dating wearing that. I'm just like, hell yeah. But at the same time, there's like, I wish, like I was telling Kiki last week, I wish women's undergarments were more like men's, where they were a little more flexible about shit. Because like, I would honestly laugh my ass off if I was dating a girl, she took her shirt off and she had like, you know, SpongeBob bras. I'd just be like, oh my god, that's freaking awesome. I would think that was hilariously awesome. I wouldn't think that was like, you know, they're all like, oh, whatever.
Well, I don't even think, like, I wish there was a store out there that went, hey, we make the fun stuff for the tiny boobied people. Why don't we make the fun stuff for the big boobied people? Because I would totally have, like, a Game Boy controller.
Because we're supposed to feel ashamed about the fact that we have boobs.
You have giant boobs. The kind of boobs that men dream about.
Yes, but I think other women want us to feel shameful about it.
Yes, because how dare you be born with the genetics for big tits?
Yes, either how dare you have it and they be natural, or how dare you have it and you paid for it, or how dare you I don't have it.
Yeah, I hate those women.
When really I would say, at least in my experience, because I have not met every person who's ever been bullied in the world, which I would say is most people, but girl on girl, especially in the teenage years and preteen years, some of the worst shit ever, because you don't like yourself and you don't like anybody else, and you have to let them know that.
It's the American dream. Women should be ashamed of their bodies.
Mm-hmm. That way we'll work harder at it and be more sexy for the male counterpart.
Or just cover yourself from head to toe.
Yeah.
And I'm all about, you know, love yourself for who you are and don't be ashamed of what you look like and shit like that. But the next time I see some 300-pound girl squeezed into shorts that are way too small for her.
Oh, yes.
A mid-drift showing shirt, I am going to walk right up to her and slap her.
Well, don't. That's Sultan too. It's her body. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
But we don't have to look at it.
Let me put it to you this way.
But I went to it. My eyes are already burning.
She's not there to look nice.
Guys. I went to an anime con once where I saw a 450-pound woman wearing a plug suit from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
That's adorable.
That image is still burned in my goddamn head. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't cosplay what you like, but at the same time, cosplay for your body type. Don't wear something skin tight if you weigh 300-400 pounds.
I'm not saying be ashamed. I'm saying dress appropriately for your size.
What does that mean, though? To you, that means something different. For her, as far as you know, she's happy. If she's happy, then who the fuck cares? If you don't want to look at it, don't look.
Yeah, but I already was forced to see it.
And she was forced to see you if she looked in your direction. Maybe she didn't like the way you looked. Nobody has to look perfectly for another person.
But at least be appropriate.
To her, she might have been appropriate.
Having, like, half of your body hanging out
she likes her body, good for her. According to current vanity laws, as long as she didn't have her tits out, we don't have to care. And even then, I don't care about shit like that. Seriously. Wear whatever the hell you want to wear. However the hell you want to wear it, regardless of size or shape or gender.
Yeah, what the fuck? How dare you be fat? You should be ashamed of yourself. Some of us worked hard and lost the weight.
Hey, we're gonna exercise after this because we ran out of time.
She's sitting here yelling at me and I'm still pouring her tea.
Yep, girl. Going back to the boob thing.
After losing 55 pounds, I realized something. People didn't hate me because I was fat. People hated me because I was kind of an asshole.
Going back to the boob thing, I don't have to go into a store and get personal assistance because I have my mom. She was trained in how to fit, and she, even though she's less than me, she was also a big girl growing up, and we like a lot of the same things. So she's very helpful in me finding what to look for. that
I mean,
have $1 bazillion, so I just ordered from a cheap site.
my thing is like with guys' underwear has always been like I can't like guys. It's really easy. It's just find your waistline. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is like the inseam. Like this sounds really silly, but if you're well hung, fuck, dude. Like I'm like like regular, like average to slightly above average in size.
I think the average actually went down to like 5 something now. Yeah.
The average is about 5.5 inches, which is what most men genetically come out to be. I'm somewhere close to like 7.
Were you there when we were talking about it? No, I don't. I think it was just me, the hubby, and your dude. We were talking about that. Yeah, there was a new study, and like the smallest on record is 1 inch, and the largest on record is like 10 inches. But the average just between is roughly 5, but sort of still in 6, kind of.
5.5 has been the average for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point being is like, I'm like slightly above average, but like I cannot wear whitey tighties. I can't. No. Fucking squeezes my boys. Squeezes the shit out of them.
Those are like the sexiest underwear ever. I love tidy whities.
God, I hope you're fucking joking, because if not, I am
not joking. I am not joking. I find tidy whities like they're the sexiest underwear ever.
I think it depends on the guy. Like, the guy's actually comfortable in them, they are sexy. If the guy's obviously not comfortable and it's not like cute, then it's not sexy.
Those are some of the grossest underwear in the world. I wear nothing but boxers, dude. Fuck tidy whities.
I've dated a guy who wore boxers, and it was like, okay, so you just kind of let it hang there?
The right kind of boxers, you're not actually just letting hang.
I know, but it's just like one of those things where it's like,
they're not like tits. They don't need constant support.
I know, but every time he sat down and they went up a little bit, like I could see stuff, and it was like... Well,
if you're wearing the right size boxers, you should be able to see anything. It just basically gives you breathing room.
I think he was wearing the wrong kind.
I think he's wearing a set that was too big, because you could see him. I'm guessing he's wearing shorts, because if he was wearing long pants, I just have questions.
No, he was just walking around in his boxers.
Well, yeah, if he's walking around in his boxers, yes, you are going to see him, because there's nothing holding him in.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he's well hung. Like, if I sit down the wrong way, yeah, my dick might, slide out one of the legs. It happens.
My guy now, he can walk around in his tidy whities and sit down and get up and all this other kind of junk. And I don't have to see his junk until I want to see it when we have sex.
Yeah, but that's why you wear lounge pants. That's why I'm wearing lounge pants right now.
Well, when it's really hot, sometimes you just sitting around.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't live in fucking hell like you two.
Oh, I totally.
Oh, that reminds me.
Guess what temperature it is? Underwear.
What?
You want to hear it? Go and guess what temperature it is here right now.
Is it the kind of temperature that will kill you for it?
55 degrees.
It is. Okay, we're actually closer to this one. It is 71 right now. Outside.
That's the best part. I've had my window open all day. My office has been airing out basically all day. It's beautiful in here right now. It's like there's a cool breeze coming in through my window, and it's beautiful.
I hate you.
It's too dark to see the thermometer.
76.
76? It is hotter in here than out there.
I may actually have to turn my electric blanket on tonight.
The air conditioner might not be running. No, I think I hear it.
Can we just pack our bags and move there?
I do not want to deal with the snow. Fuck you.
No, what you want to do is you want to winter in California and summer in Minnesota.
Also, remember, no one is allowed to move for 5 years. There was far too much moving this year.
How is that my fault?
It's not your fault.
Actually, that's Kiki's dead parents' fault at this point.
I had to move, me and my husband. Of course, you helped with all the moves. I should say we moved. And then my mom, and then my mother-in-law, and then you guys. All within the start of the year, really.
Well, didn't you just move somebody like in the last couple weeks?
That was her. That was us.
Oh. That was the beginning of the year. That was like the last couple of weeks. But everybody else, yeah, you were gone for like a month and a half trying to get that shit figured out.
Started moving at the beginning of the year, and then because we moved, me and the hubby and my mom, around the same time, just from 2 different places. And then a few months later, like only a couple really though, we moved to the mother-in-law, and then some more months later, we moved her.
Yeah, hi.
A lot of moving has happened over the year, though.
And it's all in the same year, and all in the first half of the year, so it's like one of those. And she kept on saying every single solitary day, actually a couple of times a day, no more moving for 5 years, no more moving for 5 years.
Nobody's allowed to move for 5 fucking years. Mostly because there's just far too much moving going in our lives recently.
And I don't know what it is. I like, moving you guys is not that bad. Moving
we don't have
us
a lot of
is
stuff
horrible.
anymore.
We have like this like really heavy furniture.
Ever since we moved to Reading and then came back, we haven't had a lot of shit to our name, especially big furniture, because we've always, ever since then, we've been living with someone.
Yeah.
So mostly it's their furniture and our bedroom stuff, which is our everything. So that includes desks, but still, I have a tiny desk.
I mean, honestly, at this point, as long as I had, you know, my computer stuff, a desk, a chair, and a bed, I could probably figure out everything else.
This is the end of part 4. Continue listening with part 5. This is part 5.
I like having a nice living room again, even though it's still full of stuff that needs to be unpacked.
Well, that's your own fault, no one else's.
Well, it's we have to put up the shelves, and then we lost the battery for the drill.
Would it be possible to just like spend 6 months in that state and then 6 months in this state? Because that would be fucking awesome.
If we had the money, maybe.
Yeah, it's called retirement.
Yeah, if I had the ability to have houses in multiple places, maybe, but at the same time, I'd rather just live at one place.
If it was possible to have a job that you could like literally do from anywhere, we could do that.
I would love to be employed by myself, but yeah.
See, then what you do is you get a job like that where you can do it anywhere you have, like, let's say, like an internet connection. You just get one of those cell phone cards and, like, you know, RV, and just basically, as long as you have, like, Verizon, you get coverage everywhere.
I don't think I could stand to live in an RV again.
Well, I never have, so it might be fun for me.
To be fair, ours didn't move.
But personally, I would probably just hop around from, like, motel to motel to motel, because I like motels.
Okay, those few months where we were doing that up in Chico, trying to find work and places to live, after, like, the first week, that is the shittiest thing ever.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, you know, a week in one place, a week in another place, the change of scenery.
You think it's cool, but then at the same time, you're like, oh my god, I wish I had my own this and that and those. And then, oh great, it's time to move to the next one. Back everything. Have they steal something from me?
Some people can do it, but it takes a special...
Over the years, I have become more and more of a homebody. Yeah.
Well, your body's also broken down, so let's be honest, you don't really want to go anywhere anyway.
Push come to shove, if I could get a decent internet connection and whatnot, I probably could live in an RV. It's just I wouldn't get the best out of it whenever we stopped, because I can't do things like hiking or anything like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about that, but like I have a buddy who does like contract work for network engineering, basically building big corporate networks, and he basically lives out of an RV bus, like bus size RV, and just basically drives it from site to site and then hooks up at Walmart or at like an RV park in between, you know, jobs. I mean, he's also making like $200K a year, but, you know, other than that.
That's some nice money.
Well, he's also got 10 years of education, so I can't really blame him. I'm jealous as shit. I wish I was making that kind of money.
I still would just love to move out there. I could just come and visit you. We could Skype every day or something.
Yeah, you don't want to come to Minnesota, take my word on this. Because usually right now it's in the high 90s and it's 100% humidity. just so happens that we got a cold front today, so it's been beautiful tonight.
Don't you just hate them? I just realized that my tablet feels funny because this is a new install and I forgot to set up my preferences. Yay!
Good job. Good job.
I think his Forge pulled out the tablet.
You failed as both a father and a son.
Well, we weren't looking up anything on the internet and I already had it open.
You didn't say the magic word.
What was the magic word?
Penis! No, I have no idea.
Penis! Yeah, it's been so long since we played the penis game.
Well, see, it's as simple as this. You say, I'll go second, you go first. They're like, okay, penis! You're like, penis! You win.
Penis, penis, penis. Penis, penis,
Penis,
penis.
Penis, penis, penis. Penis, penis, penis.
Oops. Nope.
I always win that game because I have no issues yelling penis to the top of my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we play it at work.
Well,
The last time we did it, one of the gay actors came charging out of the studio, but started naked into the office, wiggling his shit around. I was like, no, Billy, not you.
Yeah, see, I just want to work there.
didn't you just say you were happy where you were working?
I like the people.
Okay.
I would like to, not work there.
Compared to other Walmarts, our Walmart is one of the better ones.
B and S.
Compared.
B and S.
They at least pay their employees.
Slightly. Not really.
Maybe a little here and there, once in a while.
I still gotta find someone and ask them because I'm pretty sure I was supposed to get holiday pay and I didn't get holiday pay.
Were you full time at the time? Or
yeah,
no
they had done
longer?
it a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah, I don't know. For what holiday?
4th of July.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they screwed me over.
So I think I want that save as, not save. Oops.
She's playing with her tablet.
I'm setting up the settings.
We're supposed to be talking about things.
We were. I was talking while doing it. Doing it.
So what are we talking about now?
I thought we were talking about Walmart.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I lost track there somewhere about a couple minutes ago.
She pointed out that I work at Walmart and that the one I work at is nicer than some of the other ones because it actually pays their employees.
And she was wondering whether or not she was supposed to get holiday pay for 4th of July.
No holiday pay for you. Fuck off.
But I already barely get paid.
Well, you don't work full hours.
Well, you should
And
just.
it's
Nobody
Walmart.
does.
They gotta keep the prices down somehow.
I seriously.
You should just feel glad that you have a job at all. That's what I always hear.
That's what people tell me. I think people are saying it too often.
I agree, actually. As a guy doing a lot of the hiring, I'm just like, yeah. If you ever, I always tell my hires this. I'm like, anybody that works, you ever hear anyone say that? Let me know because I'll have words.
I get that all the time. Be happy you at least have a job. Okay, but I don't have to be happy with the circumstances. I mean, I'm happy that I have a job. I'm happy I'm getting paid. I wish that it was more.
We all do.
wish
We all
that.
do.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had benefits.
Yeah, I have to say that. What was it, like Monday I was bemoaning the fact that Kiki was staying home and I had to go to work. I was like, but in hindsight, I have dental insurance and a job, so I guess I kind of win this one.
And I'm over here with a broken-ass tooth.
Hooray for dental insurance that pays like 75% of all of my dental work.
Although, looking back, I have not been to the dentist since I was like 12.
Wow, then you've got a lot of work to get done.
I mean, before then, I'd never had a cavity. I might now. I don't know.
Wow. I just want my medication back.
I would like to see an actual doctor and start actually doing something about things, or at least getting pain pills. I am
Yeah, because
running
I would
low.
like to sleep at night. Without a hangover in the morning.
Where is the...
Awkward silence is awkward.
It won't be awkward when I edit it out.
No, it won't.
I edit
No,
out
I was
the pauses.
just thinking about. Oh, what?
I was just telling her that I edit out most of the pauses, but she would know if she listened to our show, which I might
No.
send you home with all of it when this is done.
Ah.
I don't have that kind of free time.
It's not that long. And you have an MP3 player.
No, I always have trouble when people are like, well, healthcare is a privilege. I'm like, in a country like ours, you're saying healthcare is a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't seem like some sort of break with reality. Like we are one of the richest countries on the entire planet, and healthcare is a privilege. I kind of think like if you're within range of a doctor, like you can walk, ride, bus, drive, train to the nearest, doctor, then like I'm not saying it should be free, but it certainly shouldn't cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the cost
of paying for. Whatever. We're paying for that doctor's Ferrari.
Well, yeah, we also pay
for his 6 homes.
Well, lots of doctors don't have time for that thing. Not all doctors get that, but yes, compared to other countries, a lot of the time we pay our doctors a lot more, but that's because the system's broken and they have a specialized skill.
Well, it's the idea of the amount of time they've spent trained to do something where they could kill you.
Yeah, to be fair, they did go into large amounts of debts, a lot of them, to get that training in the first place, so the money helps them pay off the debts, but when those debts are done, then,
Yeah, when you consider the average person's, $100,000 in debt is nothing compared to the doctor's $500,000 or more.
Mm-hmm. Depending on whether or not they took a very expensive specialty.
Well, it depends on their skill level too. Like if they got in on scholarships and shit, it's not so bad. But if they're like, or if they came from a well-off family, but if they're like you and I, then well, they're kind of fucked.
It also depends on where in the hierarchy of the hospital they are for how much they get paid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even necessarily talking about hospitals. I'm just talking about fucking clinics and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, plus, like you hear it all the time. Doctors, I became a doctor to help people. Well, then go help people.
Well, a lot of doctors do that the best they can.
And
but they
don't ask for money for it.
They have to work within the legal system. And they also have to worry about keeping their license, which means working out of a hospital.
Here's the fucked up one, all right? Here's the one that blew my mind when I realized it actually existed. Just by having insurance, even if you never use it, the fact that your doctor's office sends them a bill reduces the amount of money you owe the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the insurance company says we're covering none of this, they say the doctor says, well, that's going to be $600, and the insurance company says, we'll give you $200. Okay, it's $200. You owe them $200. Wait, so you just cut $400 off my bill? That's all we'll let them charge you. What?
Yeah.
It's like I went to I have the kind of insurance where it doesn't kick in until I have like $3,000 or $4,000 in medical bills in a year. So I end up having to pay all of my actual medical bills. But I went to the doctor for a strep infection. It would have been $500. It cost me $120, which still sucks. But it's $120 instead of $500. I'm just kind of holy shit. I don't know.
I remember when my father was alive that a lot of his times, his pills, because he had to use between Medicare Humana and then a third program that was just for his prescriptions that I forget the name of.
Yeah.
A lot of his medications didn't even actually come from America. Because it was cheaper to get it from outside our own fucking country.
Well, have you ever looked at generic over-the-counter stuff? I take Prilosec for my stomach. It's not coming from America. It's coming from Israel.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff came from Canada and India.
Here, hang on. This stuff was bottled in India. It's Walmart brand Prilosec.
One of my settings isn't working.
That shows you how bad my stomach is genetically. That I actually have a fucking bottle of Prilosec sitting on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on this shit since I was 20, and it's the only thing that keeps me from having horrible heartburn all the time. Because as a kid, I just assumed that horrible heartburn was normal. You had acid reflux all the time, and then my doctor goes, "No, you're not supposed to have it at all if you're not eating." And I'm like, "Yeah, I wake up in the morning with horrible heartburn." He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you on some Prilosec." And I just never gone off of it because it keeps me from having heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, medicine, Jesus, so expensive.
That's still not doing it right either. It's going over to the second window. Work properly when I set you to do things.
No, get bent.
I wish I had my medications.
I can say that a lot of us wish we had medications and that our loved ones had certain medications.
Yeah. Because
I just wish people could... So I just wish that people could get affordable health care. Like, it just blows my mind.
It says to... You stupid thing.
And I don't understand, like, the whole Obamacare thing. Isn't that supposed to start next year?
Next year, but they're still trying to stop it. Actually, didn't something go through that cut?
A lot of it's already started. The actual Obamacare is never going to happen. Like, the actual government-based healthcare is shot.
Parts of things have happened, but they're not really for you.
Are they still going to take the money out of our taxes?
Everything comes from taxes, honey.
No, I meant our tax returns.
I don't think anything...
Only if you don't have insurance, but the thing is every state has to offer like a low income insurance option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you can't get insurance, like it's too expensive, or they won't offer you the really cheap kind because they say that you should be able to afford this other kind, but you can't.
That's my whole point. They're required by law to offer you something you can afford for your income bracket.
That just hasn't been over here. It's changing.
It has to hit by the end of the year because starting in 2014, if you don't have insurance starting in January of 2014, they'll take it out of your tax returns.
Mm-hmm.
That is so retarded.
It's incentive to get insurance because there will be programs available.
See, I don't know what California's going to do. Like Minnesota opened up its Gopher Care, which is like its state-run insurance to everyone. But Gopher Care is backed by like Blue Cross Blue Shield, so it's like if you make below, I think it's like $15,000 a year, it's like $20 a month for like 50% coverage.
I know the thing they changed to, which nobody likes, happened before all that went into effect, so that thing is changing again.
Oh, you mean that thing that they said I couldn't have because I made too much, but I wasn't making that much?
They switched from one chip to that for whatever fucking reason, and then that thing is going to be pulled away before the end of the year, and that's becoming something else. That thing was really annoying because you had to reapply every 6 months. And for like a month period, you were technically without health insurance because of the reevaluation.
So why don't they send you the stuff like a month before it expires, so by the time it expires, you're renewed?
Because California is full of idiots.
It's because...
Oh, yeah, that's right, because not everyone has a actual running fucking state government like we do.
Because if you go to the welfare department here, they're so understaffed.
Everyone... All social services are understaffed because, nobody wants to... What the hell happened?
Huh.
Oh, Phil. Phil finally logged back on. We booted him like 6 hours ago because he was posting weird crap. I was like, Moss, just boot him and see what happens. And he just never came back.
He's doing it right now? Okay. Now my tablet properties are working properly. Only it doesn't when I close it. What the fuck? That means I have to reboot, so I will do this later. So, yeah. Things will change. It's not going to be great, but as long as you're signed up for it, you should be fine. And even then, I think certain brackets aren't really going to be affected.
Yeah.
Trooper, no! If I let you in, you're just going to be noisy shit anyway.
Meow, meow, meow.
Ow. Don't you yawn at me, even though it's later where you are?
I'm sorry.
What time is it there?
12:42 a.m.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours. Doesn't sound that bad.
It is.
So go to sleep. Isn't he in the middle of talking to us?
He wasn't saying anything.
I know that you have this weird thing where everybody must be talking all the time, but those pauses you're getting weirded out by are not all that long.
For some of us, it's not natural to stay up all hours of the night.
Well, some of us have insomnia.
You don't have an insomnia. You have a shitty sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Trooper, shush!
Sometimes I have insomnia.
Saying sometimes you have insomnia does not mean you have insomnia.
Which reminds me, I have to go into work again tomorrow afternoon. Somebody shoot me.
That's like when people say I'm a little OCD. We're all a little OCD. It only matters when you fucking can't stop doing it.
I don't have any OCD. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's one of those personality traits that technically we all have, but is so insignificant that it doesn't matter. Like narcissism and borderline and all those things. We have all these personality traits, but they only matter when one is so aggressively greater than all the others.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Does that mean I'm not actually narcissistic?
We're all a little narcissistic.
Then we're all a little OCD.
Yes, but saying it is, when people say it, they mean like monk style. No, you're fucking not. Did you let him in before I throw things at him?
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Your cat's a pussy. Anyway, I'll be over here.
Come here. There. Is your little world better now? I'm sorry, was the door shut?
Poor Trooper, life is hard.
Did you really want to lay on the corner of the bed that bad?
Yes, he did.
Nope.
If I give him a goldfish, will he eat it?
I have no idea.
Let's find out. Will Trooper eat goldfish?
He doesn't understand what he's doing. I can't see.
So the question becomes what to talk about next.
My cat is eating goldfish. Yay.
Hooray!
I love the fishes. They're so delicious. Delicious.
I don't know. We can talk about whatever. I'm so helpful.
How about them Yankees? Oh, you know what? I could talk about the stuff I watched this week since I actually got stuff watched.
That's right. You said did you finish Please Twins?
I did. I finished it today. That was my goal today. Instead of going out and screwing around, I sat at the house all day and watched that fucking show all the way through. Yeah, so 13 episode anime. It takes place farther in the timeline. If you've seen Police Teacher, it's farther along in the timeline past the end of Police Teacher. So the lady and the guy are married now and have been married for a couple years, which is really interesting considering he's still going to high school. But whatever. Because I thought the kid was a senior in high school, right? But he's still going to that school and married to the teacher.
Is he just that bad at it?
I guess. He must have been a freshman or something. Because he's like a senior now. And basically, it's about a guy and these two girls that come to his house because they all have a picture of him and an unmarked girl in front of this house that he's living at, like from when they were kids in like a kiddie pool, and they're trying to figure out of these girls which one is his sister and which one is a stranger. And so basically the entire premise of the show up until like the last couple episodes is what would they all do if they found out that each other were not siblings? Because like this romantic tension building, and so everything is just about like their growing relationship and them contemplating what will happen if they find out that one of them is not blood related and thus they can date. Well, long story short is obviously it turns out that one of them is the sister, one of them is not. It's fairly obvious which one it is. When I started looking at it as I got closer and closer to the end, I went, well, obviously, girl A is going to be a sister and girl B is going to be the girl he dates. Because it made too much sense. And I went ahead with it, and that's what it ended up being. And I'm like, oh, of course. And so then the last couple episodes are basically just the girls dealing with their the girls and the guy dealing with their new feelings of one girl knowing now that this is his brother. That the reason why she loves this boy is because it's her older brother. The other girl because she's in love with him. They're both in love with him, but for different reasons. So then there's this big fight about who's going to get his attention because they're both worried that he'll fawn over the other one more than themselves. So they're all like, no, he's my big brother. No, he's my boyfriend. And it's like, oh my God, fucking shoot me. And the last episode was just one giant sex orgy. Everybody goes camping and they go in their tents and start basically banging away, for lack of a better word. And I was just like, really? Really, the show is fucking terrible. And I mean fucking terrible. It gets good at the end when you're like, there's all this suspense about who the who the sister's gonna be and who the girlfriend is gonna be, but it's like it happens and it's just anticlimactic. Like the one girl comes and she's just like, I'm your sister. Oh, really? Yes, here's my proof. Boom, done. And then it's just like them sorting out all their feelings, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that works in some strange demented sense of the word. I can't remember what else I watched. Oh, and then I started watching
Did you watch Hellsing? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't finished that yet. I have 2 more episodes to go, so next week I'll be talking about that, I'm sure. That's awesome, as usual. I like Hellsing Ultimate is really good. Action-packed, well-written, well-dubbed. Good stuff.
Yay!
You just had the wonderful joy of listening to part 5. Stay tuned for part 6. You are now listening to part 6 of the Super Happy Fun Gamatron Tea Party. It's Tea Party time, bitches.
So I also started and finished watching Saber Marionette J, which is basically guy living in. All right, so I think I talked. Or did I talk about this last week?
I think you explained it to me.
Yeah. So from last week, humanity sends people out to colonize the universe. This ship Methuselah comes in orbit around Terra 2, which is a planet covered in lightning. Or, covered in lightning storms. There's a problem. They launch the escape pod. Nothing but men land on the planet. They colonize the planet. You have like New Moscow, New Japanese, which is Japan. You have a German state. You have a French state, an English state, and these countries are basically warring. But because only men survived the crash landing, they made what they call marionettes, which are basically female-shaped androids that exist to give men female companionship. Because of this, there's all this talk about, men owning marionettes, but marionettes are basically just dolls, except for these 3 saber marionettes that the main character finds who are, have emotions. They have something called maiden circuits that allow them to feel human emotions. So basically it's all about him... that's what I'm looking for. Growing his relationship with these girls and then falling deeper and deeper in love with them until the very end, when it turns out that the entire reason this was happening was it was a big ploy to basically, there was one woman who was left on the ship, and it was a big ploy for their maiden circuits to take her place in the computer, because the computer was jealous of the fact that she wanted to go down to the planet. So they had to grow these main circuits so they could stick them in and take control of the computer and then send her on her merry way, which is what happens. But then they're stuck up in space, and the guy's, all emo about it. And then they do the whole thing when the ship finally falls apart, and they come crash landing back on the planet and proceed to come find him a year later, and then is basically the start of Saber Marionette J again, and then after that it would be Saber Marionette J to X, which I haven't begun to watch because, God. I'm finding that a lot of animes just have no story for the first 3 quarters, and the last quarter is all the story, and I'm just thinking why don't you just make this a 12 episode anime and skip all the crap in the middle?
Because it's from the 90s, where it was filler.
Apparently.
I'm really confused, because that's where you made your money. You made people sit there and watch for the ads, and then they'd keep coming back in hopes there was stuff.
I heard his whole explanation of that thing. I was sitting here listening very intently, eating my goldfish, and I did not understand any of it. Did not make any sense.
That's kind of how I felt about the show.
You're probably never going to see it, so...
I mean, it had nothing to do with your explanation. It just didn't make any sense.
It's just a crazy story.
Very crazy.
I don't think I walked into Animal Crossing today.
God, I haven't been on my town in a couple weeks now. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go back now because I'm just afraid I'm just going to get murdered by my townspeople.
You know what? Can you see it? Why would I know where it is? I'm wondering if you can see it. No, it's... I'll log in later.
Indeed. Gesundheit.
There you go. La la la. La 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 la. Well, Smurf in the house.
Good God. I don't know what I'm gonna watch after I finish Hellsing Ultimate. I'll have to put my list back up and then have you pick something when I finish that. Probably tomorrow night. Or maybe it'll be Sunday. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see.
Oh God, I have to go to work tomorrow. You poor thing. Watch the Victorian romance one.
Yeah, you would want me to watch that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Teehee. I have to find that. That's somewhere in my room in a bag. I never took it out of the shopping bag I bought it in.
Trooper, good boy. Maybe I'll stay like that for about 10 seconds. Then we still have to exercise when this is done. I said we still have to exercise when this is done. Aww. I'm not letting you up. You're just evil.
I can't believe you guys still want to exercise. Jesus.
Why? Well, we're already wearing the gear. He's asking why? Is that what he asked? Because we're fat. We need to get rid of the fat.
Because you're feeling fat and sassy?
Well, we're always sassy. I'm not as sassy as she is. Ow, that hurt. I'm more demure. Oh no, he's typing something.
Oh, my buddy posted a picture of him in the kitchen at his pizza place.
Yeah. Pizza.
I told him that the next night that we hang out after work, he should make me a pizza and bring it to me. I was like, yeah, I'll just just bring it to me and I'll pay it. I'll pay you the market price. I'm never out where he works. He's like on the other side of town, and I don't ever want to make the drive over there in the evening when he's open. So I'm always like, you should just bring me a pizza. It's a good deal. Yeah.
Such a good deal.
Yeah, because I get pizza and he gets money for the pizza.
It's normally how it works.
Hell if I know. Oh, no way. He quit Pizza Man. Wow.
What? So he's no longer a pizza person?
His last day is next Tuesday.
Oh, you better get that pizza soon. I refuse to eat at Little Caesars anymore.
Hey, I like Little Caesars.
I do not like our Little Caesar. Especially since it's like $6 for their hot and readies. Some days. I think it's up to 7 now and 6 on a special day. Didn't they used to be like $5? Yeah, used to be. Why do I have the LC open if I'm not doing anything with it?
I have no idea, Kiki. Why do you have it open?
If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't have asked the question.
I just figured it was rhetorical, so I was being a smartass.
Nope, I had no idea why it was open. You devil and your goldfish. Wait, I don't even have to say anything, I just have to stare at you. Didn't you just open this? Today, I mean? Oh, no, this has been open for a couple of days. Okay then, that's less worrying. That thing's almost gone. I'm addicted to goldfish. I'm aware. I'm aware. I ate them for lunch at work. What would you like to talk about? Rainbows and ponies and happy things. Well, you said we were going to talk about the exercising that we're doing. I said we were going to talk about it?
You can if
either
you want.
That, or you said you were going to talk about my sex toys. I don't remember saying either of those things. I remember saying that your sex did not count as your exercise for the day, and that we were going to exercise after recording. No, I'm talking about, like, earlier this week. I said something, and you said, we're going to talk about that. I've had a lot of morphine this week, so I don't know. I don't know either. I can't remember. I need to write things down. I have seen the things I've written while on lots of morphine, and I often don't know what the fuck I was talking about. We can talk about sex toys if you want. There are a lot.
Yeah, feel free to talk about the sex toys. I'll just be over here.
Didn't you say once your company also made sex toys?
No, not that I'm aware of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes. There are a lot of sex toys out there. There are a lot of people who review sex toys. A lot of them are comic book artists. One of them just started a webcomic series about sex toys. I forget the name of it. My Chrome is crashing. Whoops. That's not good. Yeah, it's alright. There we go. Like, never happened. Sex toys are fun. when used properly. Oh Joy of Sex Toy is the name of it. Although it's not exclusively about sex toys. Sometimes they talk about like feminine hygiene products, or she's also talked about a erotic comic series. Here's one about butt plugs. And
oh god, my buddy's taking up he's moving to the pizza place by my work. Jesus Christ.
So he can just walk you over pizza.
Yes, no, I said you realize that now I'm going to make my company order from you all the time, right? He's like, oh shit. It's like, that's right. I'm like, yes. I'm like, and then we can go to Applebee's by my work every time, because like his pizza place is like across the highway from where my office is. Like literally, like there's an overpass like 100 yards down the road, and then you go to the other side, equivalently the other side from where our office is, and there's like a whole bunch of like, you know, pizza place, McDonald's, that kind of thing. And I'm like, cool. We'll order all our pizza from wherever you're going to work. And like he's like, and then after you're done, like right up from where my office is, we can go to the Applebee's. I'm like, yes, mediocre appetizers and shit domestic beer until we spew. All right, you were talking about sex toys. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes, there is a wide market of sex toys out there, from the simple to the more imaginative, to the both simple and imaginative.
Just remember, it's not a triple-pronged anal invader, just as doing the job.
We found something that costs like $2,000, and essentially all it is a pillow that you sit on, or not really a pillow, but like an ottoman with a hole in the center, and you attach different kinds of dildos to the middle.
Yeah,
and then it has like a small, like lawnmower-sized engine in the middle.
I would say there are a lot of those. I remember there was a documentary about the sex toy industry, and I forget what it's called. I'm sure there's more than one, but it was this company that made like essentially big, massive ones that you either laid on or sat on. And they did all the work.
I remember back in high school, we were watching something on TV, and this woman, like, got on a log. It was essentially like a log-shaped thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a dildo in the middle of it. And after it being turned on for about, like, 2 seconds, she fell off.
Yeah, that's the one where we thought it would have been better if it had some sort of handle system, because she essentially just sat on it and then propped herself up with her arms, but it vibrated so hard and almost knocked her off of it.
She also got a really good jolt out of it.
Well, yes, but it's no fun if you fall the fuck off.
I think I should have had a type of harness.
Maybe not a harness, but something for her.
There.
Like, maybe out of the front it could have had, like, handles or something. Something to where she wasn't propping herself up.
Yeah, but you can, like, those handles.
Yeah, but it made her lean forward to have to do that. Because she couldn't just actually sit on it. Because there was nothing to, hold her up.
Yeah.
So she had to lean forward on her own hands. So when it started going, it was essentially knocking her forward.
Yeah, but it looked like she had fun in that 2 seconds.
Didn't we see one where it was like made for multiple people?
Yes.
Yeah. These are essentially just giant dildo machines with seats most of the time, but still, there's a market for everything.
They look like fun. I want one of the ones that you can like stick to the wall.
Yes. To be fair, with some mounting tape, you can stick anything to the wall.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to go through all that trouble. I want something that is actually meant to stick to the wall.
Well, you can find mounting tape at Big Lots. I have mounting tape. To be fair, I think you want it to be able to come off the wall as well.
Yeah.
Mounting tape kind of ruins that.
Yeah. Did he, sign off or something?
I think he's just busy reading something. The one I saw a while back, it's shaped kind of like a bill. It's made to be easily grasped in someone else's hand. They put it in their palm and use that to rub on the woman, or the dude, I guess, to rub on the genital area. But always remember that it's by the right kind of lubricant if you're using lubricant. Make sure it doesn't, because you gotta be careful
afterwards.
Yeah, clean it afterwards. Take care of it, because certain lubricants can actually destroy certain sex toys, depending on what it's made out of.
And also, and this is something that nobody ever remembers, take the batteries out of it, because the batteries can corrode. And so only put the batteries in it if you're going to use it, and then take batteries out when you're done using it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an interesting conversation listening to you two.
And also realize that not everybody needs sex toys, and there's nothing wrong with using them.
There's nothing wrong with using them. There's nothing wrong with not using them. There's nothing wrong with the kind, there's certain kinds.
And just because you saw someone do it in a porno doesn't mean it actually works like that. That should be said about any sexual acts. Just because you saw it in a porno doesn't mean you shouldn't research it first.
Yeah.
Like, come on, geeks, it always works like that in porno.
Because once again, they're not really having sex. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Grieve just saw your yay, I love Grieve, she is lit funny.
Oh, that's good. Sorry, I went and made myself a hot dog while you guys were talking about sex toys. That's not valid at all.
Men love seeing penis-shaped objects go into women's mouths.
I don't see why,
I wish I had a
especially
hot
when
dog.
you bite. Men think they love that.
And then they see you bite it and remember why they don't.
Because advertisement has told them otherwise. Also, who the hell deep throats a banana? Weird.
That's more like a proof of concept. Like, look what I can do.
Yeah, it's like, yay, you can do that.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it with a popsicle.
The only time I ever deep throat a popsicle is because my tonsils are inflamed. Get back there. Nice and cold. Oh, God.
Well, see, because the front of my teeth are sensitive, I never bite a popsicle.
Well, yeah.
Right? So popsicles are actually perfect for me. Be like sucky.
One of our tests for our deep throat video is to see if the actress can handle it, is to see if they can deep throat a kielbasa. I'm only kind of joking.
Like half of one, or like the whole...
Or I suppose just to see how far they can go.
How far can you push it down?
I wonder. Now I'm curious.
One of the girls that works for our company can literally put it all the way where she's like holding it in her mouth and it's down her throat. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Has she considered a career in sword swallowing?
I'm not talking about the ones that are like, you know, curled in like a horseshoe shape. I'm just talking like straight sausage, like a foot-long hot dog, basically. It's just like, holy mother of shit.
Although, one's ability to deep throat really only matters if you are going into porn, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't.
Although, I suppose it depends on what area of porn you're going in.
If I was, like, super hot, I would totally go into porn.
Like I've said 1,000 times, you are hot, and there would be people out there who would pay for it.
Yeah, but I'm not hot to me. I need to be hot to me.
I think your childhood has far too much damage for that ever to happen.
Oh, I mean, she's a perfect porno star.
I have daddy issues, too. That makes me perfect, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. The more childhood drama, sexual abuse, that kind of thing, the more likely you get a porn star.
Awesome.
Surprisingly, we have a pretty good, like, therapy add-on for our health insurance.
I don't see why not.
It was one of the few things I really pushed for when I got promoted. I was like, we should probably consider getting these ladies and gentlemen some actual real psychiatric help.
If I was in the industry like that, I probably would push for that too. Although I'm the kind of person who thinks that should be within healthcare itself. So yeah, socialized medicine.
What really pushed it for me was there was one of the folks was, lack of a better word, sexually abused and possibly serially raped by a family member repeatedly over about a 5-year period as a child. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to our HR people and benefits, and we're going to see about getting you an exception for mental health care. I was like, that's not something you should have to deal with by yourself.
Well, no. I know that I don't have a great therapist story, but that doesn't mean lots of other people can't benefit it. It's not like a therapist raped me or anything. It just wasn't a great experience.
Yeah, my therapist was a little too medication pad happy, prescription pad happy.
Well, frankly, you have an unwillingness. You will talk about it, but you won't actually discuss your childhood, so throwing meds at you was probably the best option.
I can't remember my childhood. I can remember the things that my mom tells me. I can remember the things that my dad tells me. But those are because they go into detail in their stories. So what I do is create a fake memory to go along with our story.
Is a lying harpy.
Mm-hmm. According to my mom, I was perfectly good as a child. I don't know.
Except for those other times when she says you're not.
Exactly. She goes back and forth. And then my sister says that she can remember a bunch of stuff. But I don't know. I can't remember it.
Well, we have such a stigma of mental health in this country. Like, just because you see a therapist or because you're on some sort of medication or because you've been to maybe a group session once or consider it, you're nutbaggers and must be shunned away from.
That's okay. I'm fine with being crazy. Horribly bad happened to me. I mean, I wasn't, like, severely beaten.
Well, that's because we also associate abuse mostly with physical. You were horribly emotionally abused. I saw the tail end of it, and no.
I think I came out pretty good.
Later, yes. There was a terrible time there where, while you were functioning, it was not so great.
I'm okay now.
No, you're better.
I used to be schizophrenic, but we're okay now.
And because mental health is such shit here, especially our care for it, people have such great misconceptions and often automatically assume that just because someone has X mental issue, they're like all the others they've seen, when it's really a wide umbrella for this one thing.
Yeah, everybody's different. It's just like, I have people look at me weird when I say that I am clinically diagnosed as depressed. They're all like, but you're not. You're always happy all the time. And I'm like, here in front of you, because there's people who are depressed that, you see it all the time, every moment of every day.
That, and they hear depressed, they assume you're always crying in a corner somewhere, and they don't realize that a lot of depression is just a lack of emotion or
lack of actually feeling what you're putting out in front of you. Mm-hmm. Like, I can smile and I can laugh and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean I actually feel happy.
Which is something you learned in your childhood.
Yeah, because my mom would always tell me, smile. She'd say, put on a brave face and stuff like that, which further got continued when I was in a sport and the coach was always telling me, walk it off, walk it off, walk it off. So I had to also pretend that I wasn't in pain. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of that. And I've met people that have around the same problems as me and stuff like that. And we all have different levels and we all deal with it in a different way.
Yes, not everybody is the extreme nor that extreme. It's mental health, like disability, like anything really, is a wide umbrella. We're not all the same just because we have the same title disease.
Yeah, exactly. And I like my mask. My mask allows me to function at work. It allows me to function with friends. So I'm okay with it.
Well, we all wear masks, but mental health, disability, that's just something we're really bad at in this country. Because unless you're in a wheelchair or you're so mentally broken that you can't really function, you're clearly not disabled.
I hate that. I seriously hate that. There's nothing wrong with you unless you can't do this or can't do that.
Well, like, I've used the term before, but invisible diseases are, things that are not readily visible to an outsider, and because they can't see it, they assume that I've had people stare at me when I walk around with my cane. I know that I don't look like an old woman, but that doesn't mean my bones don't suck.
Or like how my mom says that I'm a hypochondriac.
Mm-hmm. Or other people who tell you that you're too old to have,
No, I'm too young.
Too young, sorry. That you aren't old enough is where I was going to have,
fibromyalgia.
Yes, fibromyalgia.
What? I had a buddy in high school who had it.
Yeah, because they assume that anything that makes the body work less, unless you're in a wheelchair, you can't have it, you're too young.
Mm-hmm. And my doctor, the last time I got to see one, was pretty sure I was born with it.
Well, that's how it works normally.
And I don't understand it. I just try to live my life, and then people ask me what's wrong with me when I am showing symptoms of being in pain. And I go, well, I have fibromyalgia. And they're like, nah, you're not old enough to have that. You're too young. There's something else wrong with you. And it's like, thanks. Can I see your diploma? Apparently you have a PhD?
Yeah, when I was in the 5th grade, that's when it started to become noticeable that there was something wrong with my bones, because that's when they started to get real noisy. My teacher once sent a note home to my parents because she thought I was intentionally making noise. I was just moving my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
To be fair, my 5th grade teacher also didn't teach us math. She was kind of a bitch.
Sounds like it, Jesus.
I got tenure, I'm gonna do what I want.
Oh, no.
Then my 6th grade teacher was also a bitch, and then I stopped caring about school.
I liked my elementary school counselor, who was convinced that there was something psychologically wrong with me because I cried, and once had a conversation with my mother that started with, no little girl should cry as much as she does without being physically hurt.
Like I said, it goes back to people assume abuse is physical. I mean, good on her for realizing there was something wrong, because I would say there was something wrong.
But by the time she got done talking to my mom, I was a faker.
Well, yeah, because your mom was masterful at that. And really, without actual evidence, there wasn't much she could do. I always get mad when TV shows show, like, a social worker doing something like that, and because my mom worked in the field, I'm like, they can't actually do that.
Yeah.
Got a phone call. I have to leave. Thank you once again for listening to this chaotic episode of the Super Happy Fun Gamatron Tea Party with Kiki, Dr. Cupcake, Fish Hat, and Breeze.
Bye, sexy cupcake.
Bye, Bones.
We'll see you later.
Man, the cupcake man. Bye. Safe drivies.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.